Chelsea are world champs.
World champions.
You lot are already world champions.
Chelsea are Club World Cup champions.
Chelsea are champions of the world.
World champions.
World champions, guys.
Chelsea, congratulations.
World fucking champions.
You have won everything in world football.
Yeah, world champions for 4 years.
Everything in club football.
You're the world champions.
World champions.
World
You
champs.
said
You are the world champions.
World champions, yeah. I'm not gonna be one of them like saying, yo, like there's a Tim Pot trophy. It's a pre-season trophy, bro. It's a Club World Cup, man. See the size of that trophy, bro.
Chelsea are going to have a stamp on their chest for 4 years saying world champions.
They're going to have Club World Cup winners for 4 years.
4 fucking years saying world champions.
You I try to downplay it like the mad waking thing, you get me? But you comes to a point when you're like, you know what, blood? Man can't even like. If they did a parade, yeah, man can't even knock it. You get me?
World champions.
The champions of the world.
They are the club world champions.
Chelsea are Club World Cup champions.
The best team in the world is now Chelsea Football Club.
Champions of the world.
Chelsea aren't world champions now. Whatever you want to say about them.
They're going to be world champs for the next 4 years.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to be there 4 years time.
World champions at Chelsea Football Club.
Chelsea FC champions of the world.
My name is Troops. And I am the wise man. And I would like to introduce the reigning, defending, undisputed, undefeated world champion, Carefree Lewis G.
Apologies, I just realized I was on my wrong microphone, but we're back, people. Big up every single one of you that's locked in. Hit the like button, subscribe, all of that shit. We got a lot to get into today in the transfer news front. Big up to everyone, though. It's good to have the intro back. It's been a fucking minute, man. Shout out all you lot locked in. Everyone's running world champion prop in the chat. You love to see it. Big up Rio. Big up Nikoi. Big up Jay. Big up Fielder. Big up J Show. Big up Nate Dog every single time. I hope you're good. Big up Jay. Big up Clicks. Shower, bro. Can we at least get into the topics before we do the negativity? I beg, please. Big up, though, man. Big up Tally. Big up. Hope you're well. Ramen. One source has said that we're looking at Martinez. One source has said that we're not. We're going to talk about both, but don't worry. Big up, though, man. Big up, bro. And, like, I'm not even really sure that we actually go in for him, but it is our job to report all of the news as we get them and debunk them if we don't believe in them, talk about it if we do kind of believe in them. We'll figure it out. You already know what the show's like. But big up Ramen every single time. Big up Assad. Big up Bola. Big up Bluesful Game. Yeah, it has been a tough 24 hours to be a Man City fan. Bit fucked for you lot, but hey. Is what it is. Open season this season for all of us. Now I'm even looking at second. I'm thinking, go get 1 or 2 players, man. Let me contain myself for now. Like I said, I ain't saying anything crazy until we at least get past Christmas. But City are looking a little bit ordinary right now. It's up to them how they change that narrative over the next couple weeks. But we'll see what the rest of the window has for us. City. TikTok. It's another day without an Enzo Fernandez bid. You lot are taking the piss. Big up Elephant saying, I thought it's funny to finish second. Yeah, when you do it all the time, this squad ain't reached second. The max that this squad has reached is 4th. And you know that. But I understand the shamelessness. Big up anyway, man. Big up to Esteval. Big up to Mo. We have literally 1,000 days left. Time fucking flies, man. Bro, Fielder, I literally just said that. But yes, I agree. Steve said Simon Phillips on fraud watch. Where is our 2 midfielders? Well, from what we're hearing from Simon Phillips, Chelsea aren't really trying to, rush things and get, plan Cs or plan Ds. what we heard with like the two midfielders is like obviously Enzo Fernandez plays a part in it. It's only one midfielder unless Enzo leaves. But if it's not Alex Scott, if it's not Wharton, I don't know if they're going to go for anybody else specifically. I haven't heard any other names yet. Manu Kone got thrown around a few times, but like there's not been any progression on that front. But Chelsea aren't just trying to get any man to fit in the midfield. They want to get the right option. And if the right option isn't Alex Scott or it isn't Wharton, I don't know if they turn to anybody. If they do, that will be news to all of us. But I don't know that. All I know is the freshest news on the two midfielders is that Chelsea aren't just going to panic buy anybody at the end of it. Yeah, Fabian Ruiz as well. That's another name that we looked at. Maybe you see Chelsea go in for him as well if they think that that's something that they can do. Obviously, depends a lot on Fabian Ruiz's side as well. But all I'm saying from what we've heard on the two midfielders front is don't expect us to just bring in any man like we did Buonanotte close to deadline day. We're not going to be doing any stupidness like that. And we better fucking not do any stupidness like that. Just think of some of the names that you've already heard. That's probably the names that are in that list. Zubimendi as well. That's someone Chelsea's interested in. I don't think Arsenal sell him, but it's someone that Chelsea would be interested in going for if Zubimendi wants to leave for more minutes. However, again, I don't see Arsenal trying to sell him. And all we've heard is Arsenal aren't really trying to sell to rivals like that anyway. And I get their side. Their midfield is stacked. Why would you change that? There's no reason to change that. Would you take Messi if Enzo leaves? They're two completely different types of players, bro. And like, look, Messi at 39, like, it would be great for the shirt sales and everything. That's a big jump going into like Premier League football week in and week out. Obviously, he's still the GOAT, but yeah, I don't know, man. Not at 39. I feel like this is something that we should have gone and done in 2015 when we were seriously linked with him. But big up, man. Big up, bro. And said, I'm starting to feel the sell Enzo talk. Starting to feel what? I'm so lost. I'm so lost. Big up DLB. Who else is in it? Big up James. Big up JC. Good to see you in there earlier. I saw the little back and forth with Esteval. That was funny as fuck. I did see you dropped a donation as well. Bless for that, bro. World champions. We want to win. Let's go. Damn right, brother. World champions to world and back. Big up Maradi as well, bro. Big up my G. Big up Brendan. Big up Talani. Big up Kelvin. Big up all of you lot. Right. Let's get into the news. First thing we'll start off with is obviously the Pedro Neto stuff, because I think it's taken most of the headlines today. The Ben Jacobs one was the one that stood out to me, because the Kieran Gill stuff I thought was relatively vague. But then it getting backed up by Ben Jacobs, it kind of threw me off. Raman, I'll get to that in a little bit, but it was Simon Phillips. So Neto is valued at close to 100 million. Look, I know this window is tapped. I know I'm struggling to understand the financials and like why everybody and their nan has some stupidly inflated fee to them. This is mind games though. 100 million for Pedro Neto is insane. This is the sort of greed that they talked about in the Bible. What do you mean 100 million? You must really fancy your chances of getting good money from Saudi, because this sort of fee just basically gets you hung up from every other link in England. Liverpool are hanging up the phone when they hear 100 million. So are Tottenham. So are Arsenal. So are Man City. All of them, man. I'm saying Savić. Was Savić actually being put up for 85 million? Still at this point? Man said stop devaluing our players. Look, brother, Pedro Neto ain't fucking 100 million. Allow it, man. Allow it. Unless you're just trying to, like, rinse the Saudi clubs. But was he actually put up for 80 million? I mean, 85 million? Oh, brother, they're actually asking for that. You know what? This window, innit? This window is on steroids. Fuck it. Fuck it. You know what? We're all just stupid now. We're all stupid. Savić is up for 85 million. This brother ain't done nothing since Girona, mate. All right, man. All right, cool. You know what? You're low-key validated, innit? It is what it is. You're low-key validated. But even with that in mind, if you can get a bit less, go and get it. Like, apparently, according to, who was it? Yeah, Ben Jacobs as well. He said Al Hilal's starting point for Neto is around 60 million, despite being valued at Chelsea at close to 100 million. You could probably get them to go up another 10, 20 million if that's just the opening offer or like the starting point. The starting point always gets rejected. We know this. Thank you for bringing this up, Rahman. We all know that the opening fee gets rejected. Go up a little bit more. See if you can get 70 million. See if you can get 80 million and bounce. But I do understand the high valuation from Chelsea to a point because he's not really someone that we're pushing out at the club. It's just someone that we don't really view as untouchable. Like, we'll keep him. We don't mind keeping him. And like, it seems like Xabi Alonso has a role for him at wing-back. And it's a role that he's not really been doing anything over there anyway. So I don't really mind if we end up keeping him. I don't mind. I would much rather sell, get the money and reinvest that back into the squad. But it does seem like Xabi has a bit of a plan for him. And him holding width, putting crosses into the box, like that's a really good mode. That's a really good way to like try and use him and not have him doing too much. Doom Scroller says, I mind keeping him, get rid. Cool, you are more than within your rights for that. Don't get it twisted. I've just seen the way Xabi's looked at him in pre-season. I thought, okay, cool. Like this wing-back role, I don't mind it. It's not frustrating. It keeps his job simple. I don't mind all of that. If we get 100 million for Neto, though, yo, this market is one for the ages. Every single scrub is going for a good amount. Fucking hell, man. But look, I'm not trying to be too greedy. If you can get me 80 mil, I'm asking for 80 million for Pedro Neto. Fucking hell. If you could get me 80 million for Neto, go for it. And furthermore, didn't Anthony Gordon go for 80 million anyway? You actually could do that. Sheesh. Now, I did see from Kieran Gill that the insiders have felt wingers are a commodity this summer after tracking the sales of others, such as Diamande, who went from Madrid for up to 120 million. Barcola is valued at nearly 150 million by PSG. Fucking hell. Yo. Yeah, Rahman, man, if you do this, I swear on my life. Hey, look, at least we don't really have to worry about where the money for the midfielders is coming from then. Because, yo, that is all mad. That is all mad. What's the rest of the chat saying? What do I value JP at? Look, near about 120 above in this market. I'll probably go even higher than that. At 150 or something. Like, I'm not trying to sell João Pedro. All of our striker list after João Pedro looks fucked. So yeah, you know what? Higher than that, 170 million. Like, it's fuck you money when it comes to João Pedro. It's as simple as that. I did see this as well. Morgan Gibbs-White links coming back. Shout out Jem in the chat as well. I see it. Like, the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm getting this valuation. I kind of understand it. Fair fucks. But on Gibbs-White, This did do the rounds again today. I don't know why. Even the source was vague. The source said we showed interest in Gibbs-White earlier this summer, but Forest have been adamant no more starters will be leaving after Elliot Anderson. And also, like, why would we go in for another 10? Like, we just got Rodgers. Yeah, literally, Rahman, we just got Rodgers. And furthermore, you're negotiating with Marinakis after he just lost Elliot Anderson. We just spoke about fuck you money. You're getting a fuck you transfer valuation for him. They'll tell you 120 million or some shit. Like, they'll point at Morgan Rodgers and be like, yeah, cool, I want that amount of money for him. It's never going to happen. Never, ever going to happen. Big up Jem every single time, though, man. Big up, bro. How much is Esteval? You're doing it on potential, but I'm still going over 100 million. Like, look at the state of this market. Neto is not better than Esteval. And look how much we're looking to get for him. Yeah, no, we're not getting Morgan Gibbs-White. That was a rehash. There's no reason for Gibbs-White's name to be linked with Chelsea anymore. So yeah, I don't see that happening. I don't even know why we're linked with him. Kieran Gill must just be a little bit bored. But the Pedro Neto news should have done enough of a job for you to like have something to talk about with Chelsea for the day, innit? Alex Goldfish said there's a possibility we get one centre mid and one attacking mid, hence why the Morgan Gibbs-White links. Even if that's the case, Gibbs-White is someone that we're just going to get priced out for. That's just one that would never happen. Nizar non-update. Long interest in Jackson, but unlikely. Simon Phillips again dropped that Aston Villa have interest, and that's something that could be long-term. I mean, that's something that could kick in towards the end of the window, but it's, again, not really an update. Like, the Jackson front's just been very quiet. I don't really know where he stands. I don't really know what our plan is, and we didn't even see him in the squad for the last game. It's Alex Goldberg. I don't know why it got put as Goldfish, but it's Goldberg. Shout out Alex Goldberg anyway. You already know what it is. And you, man, hit up them damn likes. Hit that like button. See that thumbs up? Press that one, please. A big up to all you guys locked in. We got 500 plus. Hit up those likes. Big up Will saying, big up Lupard, big up the chat, big up Will every single time. Bring on the season. This time next week, we're going to be recapping the Fulham game. I still haven't decided whether I'm going or not yet. I think I'll make a decision later on that one. Typical, but we'll see. And big up Kenjoy saying, Chelsea inflating this market. Is it even us? Like, look at Man City and the Elliot Anderson stuff. Look at Barcelona and Anthony Gordon. Like, bro, you really could have just came to us for Pedro Neto. We probably would have sold him for cheaper. Maybe the market wouldn't be this stupid. But whatever, man. Whatever, man. Big up all you guys, though. We'll go into the next topic because we kind of gone past all the Neto stuff. So, Emi Martinez. We've had two different sources saying two different things about Emi Martinez. So, Dom Smith said that Standard Sports recognizes that Chelsea are content with the options that they already have in their ranks, with Sanchez as number one and Mike Penders as second choice. However, Simon Phillips and his top source has said that Xabi Alonso has been encouraging Chelsea to make a move for Emi Martinez. So it's two very conflicting sources. One saying that Xabi Alonso specifically wants him. The other one is saying that Chelsea aren't really looking at another goalkeeper. But I look at all of the stuff surrounding Emi Martinez, and it does seem like it would be a relatively cheap fee. Like, Villa only wanted £12 million from Juventus for him. And we know what Chelsea are like when it comes to like bidding for players over 30. Villa might also be more inclined to negotiate due to PSR. That's what a lot of their fans were saying. Like, they needed, what's his name? They need to get Emi Martinez's wages off of their wage bill. So this is all very early. I don't know if we're going to hear anything more on this. But maybe, just maybe, Xabi Alonso isn't happy with our options at in goal and he wants to change things. Maybe. Remains to be seen. But this is all that we've got on Emi Martinez. Maybe Xabi don't trust the two goalkeepers. Maybe he wants us to look for a goalkeeper. I doubt there would be like a lot of clashes between Xabi and the board this early. Because they've been working hand in hand, really. But I guess only time will tell. Chat, what are you saying? Would you lot be down for Emi Martinez? Or would you rather stick with Sanchez and Penders? Let me know what you guys are saying. Why is this guy Nizar Kinsella bomber? I don't even think it's a bomber. I think it's just the same Nicholas Jackson stuff. Yeah, man. Atletico, long-standing interest in Jackson. Love. Bless for letting us know, but it's not really an update. A £65 million asking price. So that hasn't changed from this time last season. And obviously, Villa are also keen. All right, cool. We got no, yes. If you were to bring in Martinez, Sanchez would probably leave. Sanchez ain't trying to fight for a spot. Yes. I guess that's a yes. Yes. That's a no. That's a yes. Anyone but Sanchez. Yes. No. Big up Will saying we have Sanchez. Probably still a prick in my eyes, so I'll take the Argentinian prick instead. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. My only thing that's against Emi Martinez is that he's got a finger injury. I don't remember what triggered it. I think it was something after the Europa League final. But he has a finger injury that may require surgery, and that surgery could have him out for a couple of months. And that don't really help us, you know? Especially like this time in the window. If we had got him early, actually no, he'd still have the World Cup. He wouldn't be resting anyway. Yeah, Will, I heard the same thing as well. That's the only thing that's making me go, if you were fully fit, I hear it. You got a finger problem. I don't know who got the Finger Blaster 9000 and everything after the Europa League win, but yeah, you got a finger problem. Emi will get booed this season wherever he goes. Bro, we got enough, like, Argentinians that are going to get booed anyway. We don't even know if Enzo's staying or Enzo's going. So, yeah. I said should have went for Suzuki. I've heard a few people say he's a good goalkeeper. But I guess the reason why we didn't is because Chelsea aren't in a rush with the goalkeeper situation. Their whole thing is like, yeah, let's just have Penders. Let's just play Penders. We've got Penders. Penders is going to be our long-term goalkeeper. Okay, so should we not just start Penders? If you lot rate him that highly? If you lot view him as our long-term goalkeeper for the next 5-6 years? If you lot really rate him that highly, then why are we doing Sanchez for another year? What's the point? It's a waste of our time. A waste of Sanchez's time as well. Sanchez could just get the message and leave. But hey, we all know about the goalkeeper situation. We all know that for the most part we've wanted a new goalkeeper, but big up Gunner, man. People only hail Martinez because of the World Cup, but ever since he's been useless. I thought he had a good season last season. It was more the season before where he was a bit iffy. That and the fact that he's not great at playing out the back either. But from what I've seen when I've compared their like stats together, like when it comes to shot stopping and everything, Martinez is still a level above Sanchez. Now, this is the most jarring thing, because if Penders isn't even good enough, all we do is get validation on what we already knew. And that was, you should just be back at Strasbourg. You should just be back at Strasbourg. Like, what are we doing? We've got one game a week. If we had Conference or Europa, cool, I hear it. You've got consistent football all season. But now, we have to, like, just pick a side and hope it's good enough for us. And honestly, like, I feel like I'd just rather have the devil I don't know in this situation. Which would just be, what's his name? Penders. Because at least if Penders has a bad season, I know Penders is young and he can get better. You've just thrown him in the deep end a little bit. And fine. Like, sometimes they'll sink a little bit before they learn how to swim. Whatever. But Sanchez, we know what we're going to get with him. He's a good shot stopper, good cross claimer, but the concentration isn't great, and the passing out of the back leaves so much to be desired. Jorgensen did well against Newcastle. What? Did they play Strasbourg in a friendly? Yeah, like, God knows about what we're even doing with Slanina. That's just a big-ass waste of time. If Emi is that good, why get a new keeper? Age and wages and, like, Emi Martinez has been trying to move on from Villa for the last year and a bit. Remember, he did the whole, like, fucking, like, lap of appreciation for Villa, thinking he was going to United last season, and then that transfer fell through and he had to waddle on back. Sounds like Enzo, innit? But we move. But yeah, on Enzo, honestly, not really much of an update. Matt Law's come out and said that Man City face having to pay more than 120 million to land Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea would look to replace if he leaves and could try again for Alex Scott. Even though I don't think Scott is the Enzo replacement, I still think the idea is that he's going to be the Santos replacement. But yeah, also we've seen that I think Jorge Mendes is now taking control of the whole transfer saga. That was a bit of a new update we got from him. There it is. Super agent Jorge Mendes is now involved to speed up the departure of Enzo Fernandez, a move requested by Blues management. Feels like it's a little bit of a change from being happy to keep Enzo if we've got a super agent involved to speed up the departure. Although it does depend on which end he's working on. And also, like, we just need to reach an agreement because this is fucking jarring. It's been another day, no bid. You've just got Rodri out the door. You now need 3 midfielders. What are you waiting for? What are you dragging this for? This is like one of the most jarring Chelsea transfer sagas I think I've ever seen. Shout out to Randy Viper as well. See you in here, man. He's saying, oh, my tribal chief, I'm so happy to hear you today. I'm so happy to see you in here as well, mate. There was no back again today, so it's good to see you on here at least. Back again will be live tomorrow. For today, Troops is flying to Jamaica. That's why there's no back again. And there's no A-listers because Hussam got married yesterday. And Hussam ain't coming back from his wedding that soon to just talk about Barcola for the 450th time. He ain't going to do all of that. How good was Noni and how wasteful was Troops' star boy? Yeah, Saka missed a good few chances in that second half. That might be the narrative we run with tomorrow. But in terms of Noni and how good he was, that brother's arse, man. That brother's just straight arse. How is Wanyeri not getting minutes over this bum? I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, I have seen the Chelsea fixtures, bro. 2 12:30s in October. I was looking forward to Everton away as well. Great. Maybe not. Maybe not. I guess Spurs will be the game that I do in October because 12:30s can just get in the fucking bin. I'm not doing them. Fuck off. I thought we'd get more Monday night kickoffs and I could enjoy an 8 p.m. Man are doing 12:30s, man. What a load of shit. Wharton isn't shit and Wharton isn't overrated. And the only reason why I want Enzo gone is because Enzo doesn't want to be here. And I don't see us giving him the wages that he's desiring. So if you don't want to be here this summer, you're not going to want to be here next summer. So I'd rather just plan for life without Enzo now. It's got nothing to do with the quality of Enzo. Enzo's a good player. I would like to keep Enzo if Enzo would want to stay. Enzo doesn't want to stay. And yes, Wharton won't give you the GA that, what's his name? Wharton won't give you the GA that Enzo will give you. But we're not really asking Enzo to box crash as much anymore now that we have Rodgers and Palmer in the team. What I need a replacement for is a controller in the midfield. Someone that can dictate play. Wharton can do that. Which is why I would take Wharton as the Enzo replacement. Generally, the only arguments against Wharton is just like a GA type thing. And if it's not a GA type thing, Dodgers Bomber. Oh, okay. So everyone's reacting heavily to this. Oh! Oh! Oh, okay. Todd Boehly and Mark Walter are in talks to sell their shares in Chelsea. Fucking hell. Did not expect to see this. Well, I mean, there was rumors about Todd Boehly like selling his shares in like 2027 when Clearlake takes over as chairman. Maybe the wheels are starting to like go into motion now. It's going to be to who though? I would assume maybe to Clear Lake. I don't think we're gonna get like new investors. Interesting. What's the difference? The difference is all just dependent on who they sell the shares to. Is it all the way to Clear Lake or? Yeah, Jimmy, hey, you man in the community, you all want to get involved and buy some shares. I said Igbali won. But brother, look, Igbali and Clear Lake had the majority share. There was only ever going to be one winner. Oh shit, Mark Walter got a case. Hope it ain't a weird case. US prosecutors probe business dealings of billionaire Mark Walter. Damn. But the Financial Times has said it. Chelsea shareholders Mark Walter and Todd Boehly in talks to sell their shares to Clearlake. Give me a sec. Title's going to have to change. Interesting. How do we do this? There we go. Yeah, that'll do for it. That's all right. Yeah, not a weird case. Yeah, I had a quick look. Bless for letting me know, though, anyway, man. Right, so what is this article saying? US financiers Todd Boehly and Mark Walter are in talks to sell their shares in Chelsea to majority owner Clearlake Capital. There you go. It's going to Clearlake. It's going to Clearlake. There's your answer, guys. Nobody knew. They're in talks to sell the shares over to Clearlake. No real surprise there, chat. Any deal would potentially help to resolve long-running tension among the Premier League club's ownership group, which acquired it for $2.5 billion in 2022 when the Russian oligarch Abramovich was forced to sell in the wake of sanctions imposed on him following Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Since buying Chelsea, Boehly and Walter's side of the consortium have clashed with Clearlake over strategy. While Clearlake owns more than 60% of Chelsea, it shares joint control and equal governance of Chelsea FC with Boehly, who chairs the club. The talks come after years of on and off negotiations between the two sides, but it was not yet certain that a deal would be struck. The revived negotiations also come as Walter has sought to sell other high-profile assets as his business empire faces regulatory scrutiny. US prosecutors are probing Walter's insurance companies, which were the foundation of his swift rise on Wall Street, following disclosures that revealed insurers he controlled lent to related parties without disclosing links to those loans. Those insurers are now rushing to sell their affiliated interests or pay down these loans. Walter agreed to sell the LA Lakers for $12.5 billion, and nobody has commented. But yeah, Clearlake about to be full owners. Clearlake about to be full owners. Okay. Yeah, but I don't think the argument was ever about them not being able to sell to each other. It was about being able to just sell outside of each other. Cool. Interesting. Interesting. I said we're finished, but brother, look, it's like Boehly and Mark Walter didn't have like majority control to make decisions anyway. I don't really think anything changes on the Chelsea front. Being fully owned by private equity is madness. Is it any more mad than being majority owned by private equity? Like, what changes? Clearlake had control, now Clearlake have control. They've just got more of the shares or all of the remaining shares. Yeah, man, nothing's changed. It's just the shock factor of, like, Boehly selling up. And maybe now, like, people can stop talking about, oh, Boehly this, Boehly that, when things are going wrong. Like he ever had fucking control of anything anyway. If they were allowed to sell outside, would they still need permission from the UK government? No, I think they need permission from, like, the other people in the consortium. Arise a bid real quick. I drop some supers. I'll see what I can do. Go, we'll buy them together as a community. I'm sure 1% will do us some good. Without Walter support, BOEHLY goes below 24.5. He would lose voting rights, so he is also jumping the ship. Fairs. Now they're free to do a Glazers and focus on business profits rather than sporting success. I swear, wasn't the narrative that was all they cared about anyway? Like, what changed? What changed? I've always said, like, their main aim was, like, the business profit, and they would be happy with Chelsea being successful as long as it was within their project. What would have changed? I don't think anything would have changed. Anything you fuck up this season, the eyes would be... They should have been on him from the start. They contractually can't sell to anybody outside. Yeah, I think, like, that's the stuff that Eunice and, like, Minerals were talking about a year or two ago. About how they could sell Blueco as an entity instead of selling, like, individual assets within the business. But the full control... Borglum? Well, probably a typo still. Yeah, cool. Surprising news and everything, but... Big up Pachara saying Gilberto Mora scored a beautiful goal yesterday. I forgot about that guy still. I'll try and have a look later after this show still. Or maybe like once I send the link out to everybody. Big up to Kenjoy saying, I think they can only sell to each other. That's what we've been told. Like, there's other people that have been saying that they can sell outside as long as they sell the entirety of Blueco. Whether you believe it or not is completely up to you. But that's what that's what's been reported to us. What about Todd's ticket nonsense? It's got nothing to do with Chelsea. That is Todd BOEHLY's like side thing. That's one of his side investments, Vivid Seats. That ain't got anything to do with Chelsea. What happens to ticketing? Nothing. Nothing. That don't impact tickets. Nothing at all, clicks. And big up to Bola saying there is no point against Clear Lake anymore. That it wasn't anyway, you know. It didn't even fucking save my title change. Man, YouTube, you piss me off sometimes. Load, you prick. Give me a second. Give me a fucking second, man. Fucking jokers. Not in the mood today. BOEHLY selling Chelsea shares. There. Fucking save it. Wanna save this time? Thank you. Useless shit. Why do I stand for CST's chairmanship? Bro, do you know how bipolar Chelsea fans are with me? I'm like Marmite. Everyone here, or the majority, likes me. You go to a match day, it is very 50-50. Some people like me, some people can't even stand the sight of me. One or the other. Either way, I ain't getting that vote. And plus, I think one of my mates is like in the boardroom anyway for the Chelsea Supporters Trust. Shout out Dom Rosso every single time. My dog. But yeah, big up Bola, bro. Big up, man. I'm not gonna like... Yeah, this is my thing. I think it's just a bit of shock value right now because of how new it is to everybody. This is a new update. Everyone's like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, Clear Lake's fully gonna take over. Well, they already had the control anyway, guys. You know? It's nothing that new. The only new stuff is just like the other minority shareholders leaving. That's it. Thank you. I appreciate it, but some people don't like me anyway, just based the whole vlogging and like fan TV stuff and all of that shit. And you can't help those people anyway. It is what it is. Charge it. And also because I would like rub it in people's faces when I knew they didn't like me because of it. Because, look, if just seeing me creates a wound, I'm going to pour salt in the wound, you know? I'm just that guy. I'm petty. But we move. Yeah, I saw this. No Fronter shirt sponsor for another season. And nah, no racismo. I don't get racismo at the bridge. I get that at the Emirates. Only at the Emirates will I have people questioning why I am black and I support Chelsea. That's all. Oh, I don't know their names. Do you know how many people I meet at Chelsea all the time? And it's like, I'll remember people's names and then sometimes I'll forget their names, but I'll remember their face. And then there's some people I met for ages and I'm like, someone asked them something so I can get their name again, please. I'm a face person before I am a name person. I just recognize people. But yeah, big up, man. Yeah, that's the Emirates, bro. That's the Emirates. Why are you black and a Chelsea fan? Grr. Every time you go over there. Oh, you're black and you support Chelsea. I'm like, cool, you lot run them same racist narratives that you say our fan base runs. You do the exact same thing. You said, oh, you're more of an arse, but fair enough. You know, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that, man. But yeah, hey, look, so did I. But the only place where I've been called a black see you next Tuesday was at the Emirates from the home end. That's the only time I've ever got called that at the football. All my years of being in Matthew Harding, never once heard it. Not once. But hey, what do I know? They'll tell me it never happened. You know? Simon Phillips insight. Simon Phillips insight. So he said this has been coming. They've disagreed over so many things lately, from stadium plans to youth squad built project. There was never a way back because Clear Lake were and are not selling their stake. Pete, because I remember seeing part of I was reading part of like that book on the sale of Chelsea FC. And a few of the early paragraphs on it was talking about how much Todd Boehly had wanted Chelsea and how much he was a fan of Roman Abramovich. And like he'd spoken with Abramovich back in 2018 about a potential purchase of the club. He got it and then gave it to Clear Lake and then didn't get anything that he wanted from like owning the club. Dark work. Dark work. But it's done now. And yeah, big up. Big up. Well, what other news did we have? So a little bit more from Simon Phillips. Nottingham Forest are preparing an official offer for Liam Delap. Obviously, I think this is another situation where like dominoes are falling because Taiwo Awoniyi has gone to Coventry. And Chris Wood obviously is aging a little bit. There's now room in the squad for them to go and take Liam Delap. So hopefully they hurry up and drop a bid because all of these mid-table clubs have been interested in Delap. Not a single one of them have dropped a bid for him. So let's see what we get. Let's see what the opening offer is. Obviously, we know Chelsea want around 40 to 50 million for him. Except just 30 million above, please. But I can't tell them too much because we do very well with sales. We do really well with that sort of stuff. So let's see what Nottingham Forest have for us. I would love him to go to Nottingham Forest because he can be Wolfie's problem and Wolfie can hold that. I already seen him doing the whole Chelsea was the problem narrative. Cool. We were the problem. Cool. Take him. Take Liam Delap. And when he elbows somebody in his first game for Forest and gets a red, that's you. That's a you problem. You deal with that. Everton said they can't afford Delap. Damn, we must really be asking for a big fee for him. Fucking hell, mate. Big up Reaper, man. Big up broski. Hope you're good, man. But yeah, we've heard Forest preparing an official offer for Liam Delap. I think that's all that we've got from Simon Phillips' part. Well, he thinks Enzo to City is now imminent and could happen at any time, but it's not really an update. That and Pedro Neto is keen on Al Hilal. He is intrigued by the move and he is interested in going over there. So there could be an update with Pedro Neto very soon. Personal terms should not be a problem because they'll just give him something fucked in the head like they gave Pedro, João Felix, and all of the other players that we've signed from them. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Mark Hiu as well. We apparently want 25 million for Mark Hiu. I wouldn't mind us accepting 20 million though. Like, I know we sold Broja to Burnley for, I think, around 20 million pounds himself. So if you want to get 20 million for Mark Hiu, I hear it. I hear it. It's just who the fuck is buying him? Maybe you look to the championship, see if a championship team's after him. Because I don't see anybody in the league dropping 20 million on Hiu. I don't see that at all. Yeah, Tyrese, he's like a figment of your imagination. You only see him whenever you're trying to like sell, when like the megastore's got a new range coming out. He's not been good for anything else. And I'm sorry, like all the criticism that we had for Liam Delap last season, it looked like Hiu was the same thing bar the elbows. So I hope we find a club for Hiu, and I hope you can continue your career because, man, you're wasting your time here, mate. It's so unlucky you got that injury on the same game as Nicholas Jackson, but that was like over a year and a bit ago. There's no point dragging that any further now. What else have we got? This. So a little leak for next season. I know it's already dropped, but Footy Headlines is always good for new kit leaks. 27-28. We're looking to like have like a more duller gold version than what we had now. I thought we were trying to do like blue and gold this season, but it seems like it was a brighter version of what we're trying to do this campaign. So yeah, this is a little leak for what we're going to have for next season's home kit. And look, I like it, but bro, I thought we were only going to have that lion for one season. What do you mean we're going to do it again? I personally, I don't want every season with the badge. I want the OG badge. I want the OG badge. Like the proper crest. One season, I don't mind the switch. I really don't mind. But like, if it's going to be every season, I ain't with that. And says CFC London. Aye, fair enough. I understand like the connection and everything. Liverpool do it all the time, though. I want to say that as well. Liverpool have switched to like a simplistic version of their logo since the 12-13 season. I feel like we're doing something along the lines of that. I'm just not with it. I didn't mind it for one season. Switch up if you want to. Fine. But make it one season. Like Arsenal 24-25. When they just had that shit little cannon on all of their kits. Yeah, if you lot like it, fair enough. Like, it's an opinion. Because it's like a style sort of thing. Like, if you prefer it with the lion, fair enough. I ain't going to say anything to you. Me personally, though, I prefer the crest. I prefer the crest. It's just my personal feeling on it. It's got nothing to do with that. Liverpool just went for the simplistic one like years ago and stuck to it. I don't know if there was a lot of complaints around Liverpool fans at that time, but I don't want us doing that. Like the odd away kit or like maybe the odd home kit. I don't mind, but bro, stick to the crest, man. The crest's perfect. Why are we changing it? Stick to the fucking crest. I'm going to do a quick poll before I throw the link out. I want to know what you guys prefer. Do you prefer the lion? Do you prefer the OG crest? Minimalistic lion. OG Chelsea crest. Let me know, chat. Yeah, a lot of the clubs do it, but like not frequently. Yeah, Brendan, I'm sure the majority would like the OG one, but I want to see the difference. I want to gauge the difference. Big up Sheik, man. I know, bro. I hate it. Like, I like the detail. But I also get the idea behind it as well. Because of, like, the social media era, you want it to look more visible or, like, easier to see through, like, social media pages and everything if it's minimized. That's why I kind of get it, but not on the badge. Not on the fucking badge, mate. Don't change my Chelsea badge. Please go back to convo. What convo? Would you mind the line? I don't mind for the third kits. I don't mind that. Like the odd away kit or something, go do it. Do your thing. But the home kit, I just want the OG Chelsea badge. That is beautiful. That's what I've grown up on it my entire life. Don't change it. I don't fucking like change. You know them ones. Back in my day and all of that shit. Nearly 75-25. Alright, cool. Understandable. Yeah, because like some of the away kits, it actually slaps with the lion. Like the one I was wearing yesterday, the Conference League one. I don't know if I have it here or not. Is it on my bed? Yeah, like the Conference League one. The Conference League one slaps. This is lovely. I like this. This is good. The away kit from this season, I like it. That's all right. The home kit, nah, give me the OG badge. But yeah. Yeah, I know they've tweaked it a little bit now, but it's a tweak. You ain't changed too much. You've changed the font. You've like changed like the size of like the borders. Okay. I don't mind all of that. Because it's still basically the same badge. That ain't the same. That ain't the same to me, man. Kenjoy said, I'm sure many old heads said the same thing when Chelsea changed the badge to the previous one. Maybe they did, but like I don't remember hearing a lot of complaints about it. Let's be fair, I was very young around that time, so I don't know. But listening to like the way people talk about this badge, no one speaks about it in a bad light. Like the 80s Chelsea badge that you guys are going to see on the third kit, the one that's on this sponsor from Jersey FC, link in the description below. That third kit, the badge that you see there, people still complain about it. That's the point I'm trying to make. They didn't like when Chelsea had that crest with the shield around it. Because they were saying it was too Millwall-y at the time. People still don't like that to this current day. There are people complaining that our third kit has that badge. I have never heard a complaint about this badge. Never. That's why, like, I know you're saying that people might have complained. If I had to bet, I don't think that they did. I don't think they did. Because looking back at like what people were saying around that time, I've never heard people complaining about that badge. Or even currently to this current day, I've never heard people complain about the badge that we have right now. Old fans and new fans alike. What's the beef between Chelsea and Millwall? Fucking hooliganism. Chelsea Headhunters versus, what was Millwall's firm called? I forgot the name of it. It was a hooliganism thing. The Bushwhackers, that's it. Bushwhackers versus Headhunters, that's what it was. Like them two and West Ham's ICF. And obviously Spurs one, which name I can't use because Chelsea would ban me for using their name. But they were the main firms around London back before I was born and all of that. Man said don't go Millwall away. I went Millwall away with Birmingham and it was boring. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I even accidentally let out and up the Chelsea when I was in the train station going back. Nothing happened. I remember all of my mates looking at me when I said that. I was like, oh shit. Looked around and no one heard it. I love. And big up Fuzzbrain saying, can we get a Potch Out badge on our kits? I wouldn't mind. You can change the badge to that, mate. I'm too much of a hater for that. I'm fucking with that one. Yeah, Bluefield game, that thing, innit? That's what they call themselves. Can't use the word, though, you're going to get banned. But yeah. Big up to all you guys locked in. Let's see who's about. I've got the StreamYard all pattern now, so I don't have to... So it's not only 6 maximum. And we'll see what everybody's saying. Like, subscribe, up the Blues. Smash the lights for the world champions. Yeah, we need a front of shirt sponsor. We ain't going to get a front of shirt sponsor. Not this summer. You know where it's going to be? Second half of the season, we're going to get a front of shirt sponsor for a good fee for that amount of time remaining of the season. And we're just going to leave it there. The link is going out. Boom. Yo, big up Nathan, man. Hope you're good, man. Hope you're well.
Big up Lewis, big up the chat. Yeah, doing all right. Doing well, all things considered. Can't complain.
Here's me thinking it was going to be a relatively quiet news day. And then we had that Todd BOEHLY stuff drop immediately.
Didn't kind of expect ownership news, to be honest. We just a lot of us forgot about that after all the protests and all the stuff that was done.
Yeah, they usually leave that for the international break, really.
But to be honest, I think that was the only way. Clearlake obviously had the majority shares, and they were never going to let them up. Todd BOEHLY's barely had any decision making after the first 2 years, where he actually was doing a lot of the decision making, and he's just been in the background. Him and Mark Walters probably made even less decisions, so I guess they just kind of figured that obviously Egbali and Feliciano were never letting them do nothing at the club, and they're like, just sell up. Obviously Mark Walters apparently has got a case to deal with, so people back in America have told me, so yeah, he's trying to get rid of stuff as quick. So yeah, look, it's, at the end of the day, it's still for lack of a better term, another problem to deal with. Let's not, it's not like Egbali's the savior, so to speak, just because he's now, him and Feliciano got majority shares now, more shares now.
Hey, the narrative though is that Blue Co are changing.
I mean, yeah, look, this window obviously has demonstrated some of that. To be fair, I will give them credit for that. The window's not done yet. We've still got some more transfer business to get done. But yeah, look, they've now got even more shares. I think it's only Hans-Jörg Wyss, that old Swiss guy, is the only one still left now. If BOEHLY and Walters,
they're waiting for him to croak at the evil fuckers.
I think he has 13%, something like that. But,
do you guys know if PIF, the Saudi Public Investment Fund, are they under the Todd BOEHLY side or with Clearlake?
Clearlake Capital. They've invested in
Clearlake Capital,
side.
Ah, okay. I thought Todd BOEHLY just had a good relationship with them.
No, they've got
fully invested.
They got assets and stuff. They've invested into Clearlake.
But it's not directly in the club, is it, Nathan?
Neto stuff. Alright, good. Sorry,
bro.
Bro.
No, bro. But that's the thing, innit? That's why we keep selling players over to Saudi, big boy prices and all of that sort of stuff. But then the question is as well, is it direct investment into the club or is it investment in business outside of the club?
Business outside the club.
It has to be, innit, Nathan? Because of the whole Newcastle thing as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
That can't run. But yeah, man, it's as you said, I'll be honest with you, I think time will tell. And obviously with BOEHLY, has Egbali changed and all of that sort of stuff. I think the main thing with BOEHLY is it was clearly trying to get more control of the club, innit? But he wasn't getting that. So the interesting thing is, will he sort of invest in another football team in the Prem? Will it be outside the Prem? Will it even be in football at all?
Yeah. There's also that whole ticket situation with Todd BOEHLY's side as well, that company that he has shares in, which I know it's not as much, but still people are obviously pissed with that way. Tickets are ending up on that market for triple the price.
Oh, so, bro, don't even get me started on that, man. Yeah. When you're there trying to get tickets through the Chelsea website, and there's a week before it's already on ticket.com.
Yeah. So
I guess the only good thing about this is we talk about the consortium and having too many cooks in the kitchen. I guess that at least cuts down some of the cooks.
It's 2 less people now. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's part of the reason why it always took so long to like get to conclusions with stuff.
Maybe
and
that
like
this
with
will. Go on, bro.
with Igbali, like we know all of the bad sides to him. We know all the good, well, whatever good sides there even is. We know what we're getting in it, and like, you always had the final say anyway.
No, I think this will also help speed up things with the stadium, really. Do you know what I'm saying? When there's one person making that decision rather than different groups. And with Igbali, I'll be honest with you, I think last season hurt his pride. I mean, the fans, all of us singing, like, and all that stuff, you can see he was actually panicking in his box. So moving forward, let's see how he goes.
All the losses they made.
Well, exactly, but this is the thing with Chelsea Football Club, bro. The fans, we're the voice of the club, really, innit? None of this shit runs, and that's why even when our standards drop, the fans are always keeping the club at a high standard. We're not going to be sat here accepting, bullshit coming out of the ownership, even the sort of on the pitch stuff. Oh, this guy, thank God, thank the Lord.
Badiashile medical at Napoli, all booked for this week, and yeah, cool.
I'm actually worried.
Why?
This guy's gonna fail his medical, bro. He's always injured.
Oh, brother. God forbid.
Brother.
It's not even that. It's an option. It's an option to buy for 27 mil. They're not taking that up. We know this.
No, they're using him for the season, and that's it. For whatever they can.
I'm just hoping like Syria and like the drop down in like quality in that league makes him look a lot better than what we've seen of him.
Maybe
same thing with Chalobah. That's why I think he'll do pretty well over there for Como.
Yeah.
Like fucking Chris Smalling used to be one of the best centre backs in Serie A few years ago. Like there is a golfing class.
Yeah. Or even like Tomori as well. Tomori in the Prem probably plays for clubs like, again, no disrespect, but like Sunderland, Bournemouth, them sides. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Gone to AC Milan and everyone's talking about him as the next big thing. But yeah, man, I wish all the best for Trev, to be honest with you. As for the rest of them, tossing, bro, they just couldn't give a shit what happens with him.
So I want to find him a club first before I start thinking good things about him.
Yeah, no, I'm not even thinking good things about him. I'm still cussing him after, bro.
Yeah, there isn't really a redeeming moment with him, is it?
No,
tossing big moments for the club. Locking up Højlund. Nah, yeah, it's dark.
Bro, me and you would have locked up Højlund, and I'm 5'9".
Yeah, bro, he don't even attack. He just backs into players like he's trying to get a wine or some shit. Big up Ansi, bro. He says, big up Lewis in the chat. Looks like my club is signing Diego Moreira from Strasbourg for 50 million. Yeah, I didn't expect to see that.
Yeah.
Although Moreira's been a pretty key player for Strasbourg, so he might do a good job for you lot.
He could have been a good left wing back option for us as a backup as well,
I think we already had our hearts set on Barco for that role, though. There's just too many cooks in the kitchen for that one, too.
Bro, Barco's the interesting one, though. Like, is he going to be playing in the midfield, left wing back? Is he going to be good enough to play for the club? We didn't even get to see him in the World Cup. I was looking forward to that. He didn't even make an appearance off the bench, I don't think.
Nope.
Yeah, man.
I didn't see anything for him second half of the season. I mean, in pre-season. I don't think he got a single minute.
No, nothing.
And he's already coming back a little bit late, so I don't know. Luton will be when you see him. If you even see him. But big up Anti Lafeur anyway, man. So, 100 million for Pedro Neto.
Yeah.
Are we delusional or what?
Bro, I'm loving it.
Initially, I thought I would have thought that as well. When I was like processing it a little bit more, I'm just thinking it's like, one, obviously they want to get as much money as they can, right? They obviously look, if we have our own internal valuation, but maybe we can squeeze that a little bit more. They're looking to things like deals like Yan Diamande to Real Madrid for 120 mil. They're looking at the price PSG are asking from Liverpool for Barcola, like 140 to 150 million pounds. And they're thinking, you know what? We've got a player 26, like if it's a fellow Prem team that wants him off us, he's got Prem experience, this and that. And they think, you know what, Saudi, we've got some obviously deals we've done with them in the past. This guy's 26, Portuguese, they love Portuguese players over there as well. So they're like 100 mil, but they probably don't necessarily want the 100 mil, but they're obviously just trying to put it as high as possible. So then someone goes, our first bid 60, but the highest we'll go is 75. And then hopefully our owners go, yeah, we'll take it, instead of taking the piss with it and like, no, we want to stick to us 100 mil valuation and whatnot. So that's just kind of how I'm looking at it. It's just like, look, they're within their rights to obviously try and extort as much money from any potential buying club, because one, that's what anyone would do. You know, when you got a player you're kind of happy to get rid of, just get as much money as possible. And the way this whole market is moving, like at certain positions, mainly midfield and the forward line, like mostly wingers, there's just not many great options that are either available, really, or if they are, obviously the selling club is just like, well, there's not much left in the window, and yeah, you want our player, you got to pay even more for him. So
I'm just looking at more sources saying Savić for 85 million. I get it.
That don't even make sense.
But can we just deep something, by the way? In a market where everyone and their mums is costing 100 M's plus, Arsenal's record sale is still at Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for £35 million. Just deep that, bro.
Yep.
That's why I kind of thought, maybe they think they can get Lewis Skelly on the cheap. That makes sense.
And he would have been their record, 50 M's.
If we get Neto sold for near to 100 million, though, this window's been one for the fucking ages. And that means at least you can put the money down now there's no excuses in terms of like putting the money down on the midfield. Just depends on like being priced out. Obviously, Alex Scott looks like he's being priced out, but all we're hearing with Wharton is that it wouldn't be impossible to get him.
But then
we just want to wait for Enzo to drop.
Are you guys happy going into the season with our wing options? I know we're not really playing out-and-out wingers, but then essentially we've got Gittins, Esteval, and Quenda. Once we sell Pedro Neto, do you know what I'm saying? Do you think we get another attacker, or are we good in the attacking option?
I was listening to Cy Phillips. Apparently, what he quoted saying, versatile attacker will come in. They'll look to a versatile attacker to bring in if they sell Neto. So whatever
someone that can play on both wings.
I guess, yeah. Don't know who that.
So I haven't heard any names of people that we're looking at for that.
No,
Vinicius Junior.
Give a name, but
let's do it.
Fucking imagine, man. Nah. And maybe Rodrigo. Maybe I don't know. Has he learned to walk again yet?
Yeah, nice.
Bro, he looked wedged though in the last pictures I've seen of him.
I don't know if he was playing yet or anything.
What you said was right. We don't play with out and out wingers, so I don't think.
Yeah, 210s. More thus far, but yeah.
But the mad thing is, I honestly think he switches it up depending on the opposition. I think some games we'll probably see a 4-2-3-1, some games 3-4-2-1. Maybe even in certain games we'll see both.
Jardel, yeah, I wouldn't rule that out. But someone brought up Ethan Nwaneri. I know that Arsenal are very intent on selling him to get rid of him, and because we've been linked with him in the past, I mean, maybe that ends up being done. I don't know.
Depending on the price, I'm actually taking him. I'll be honest with you. I think he's better than Madueke. I think he's a good filler for the cam role. But then again, Steve-O, we want to make sure he's getting the game time, and we promised him the cam as well. Yeah.
But this is the thing. Nwaneri ain't leaving one bench to sit on another bench.
True.
It's the same thing with MLS. You ain't leaving one bench to sit on another bench.
But he made even less sense, to be honest. If anyone we should be worried about being benched in Super Mendy.
I just think like all of our attacking business is relatively done.
Yeah, I think so too. I think even with Pedro Neto gone,
it's just I don't know. It's just conflated when you think of potential. Obviously, Delap most likely going, Jackson potentially out. Obviously, Mudryk on loan needs to go. Gittins probably staying. You're definitely not getting anywhere near the money that you paid for him if you tried to sell him outright. And then obviously Neto, you sell him to Saudis, so yeah, that leaves. It's quite a lot of outgoings in the forward line, but I think we still have enough, personally. I'm more worried about centre-back and goalkeeper, but that's another
That's why I just want the money to go back to. Go get me another big-name centre-back. Fuck it.
That's what we need, though.
All the resources for centre-back and goalkeeper. I was hoping these Emi Martinez links had a little bit more to it, just because then you're at least telling me that Xabi Alonso wants another goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I'm just getting conflicting sources. Simon Phillips is saying Xabi Alonso has been encouraging Chelsea to move for Martinez. And then you've got Mr. Dom Smith. I haven't really seen him too much as a source, but he's saying Chelsea aren't looking at a goalkeeper. And I can tell that's been the stance all summer. I just don't know if it's changed yet.
But this is the thing, bro. I think goalkeeper, again, me and Jimmy were having this discussion yesterday, I think it was, but it's such an important position that you can't just tinker with it to couple days before your first game in the Prem. I think if you had an opinion, and I know he wanted time to look at his goalkeepers first, but bro, what more do you want to see from sort of Sanchez and obviously Penders? Yeah, but we're never going to start Penders week in, week out at that age. But it's one of them, bro. It's just a bit annoying for me because it's like if you knew you wanted a goalkeeper, we should have started early, looked at our options, and gone for it then, rather than wait till now and then thinking about Sanchez. Are we going to ship him out? Are we going to keep him as our number 2? What do we do with Penders for his development and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, the problem is the World Cup, the timing of the World Cup and all, because everyone needed their mandatory like break and all that. Obviously, Belgium finished where they did, so like Penders had that break, and it's like he didn't get to actually play 2-3 of the preseason games. We had Shaman Low in goal, which we all knew was just a waste of time. But yeah, it's not ideal. But look, if they've spent all that money, he's been out on loan to Strasbourg. Now it's like they brought him back to the club, and there has been no talk of loaning Penders out again. It kind of feels like they really want him to stake a claim this season to take.
I feel like they've near enough promised it to him. But if you're going to promise that to him, start him game week 1.
Yeah,
put Penders in goal. Deal with any of the errors, and just as long as he's not a complete hologram.
Philip Jorgensen.
Yeah, as long as it ain't like that sort of stupidness, or like Kepa, so you just keep running with him. Because Sanchez is good, but he's clearly not enough.
No.
Sanchez is a banging backup. As a starter, he's not winning you a league. But then the problem is, bro, I don't see Martinez.
He don't even want to do the backup role. The sorcerer will
No,
say
he won't.
if he says he has to fight for a spot, he's going to push the league.
He won't. He can go to any other club and be a starter outside the top 6. And to be fair, what with Tottenham selling Vicario as well, I could see him at Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? But they've got Kinski there. But,
Sanchez at Tottenham is mind games. That's crazy.
It's mind games, bro.
I wouldn't mind it though, actually.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it. But then he would turn into fucking prime Buffon against Palmer and Rodgers. But the thing is, I'll be honest with you, and I know people
because
disagree.
De Zerbi would probably want them to build up off the back. I'm like, hey!
Yeah, push. Just push.
There you go, mate.
But the thing is, I don't see a massive difference, and I know people might completely disagree, but at this stage of his career, Emi Martinez and Sanchez, is there a massive difference between them two?
I only just went on like Data MB and I put like all of their stats from this season together, but he's still looking above Sanchez in nearly all of the stats.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
Some close, some a lot clearer. Like my only thing is he's got the little finger injury.
Yeah, the little finger injury is a bit of a worry. Can't obviously goalkeeper goes without saying. But
no, it's the truth, man. I got a little finger injury, bro. I don't know who got the finger blaster, but
wait, hold up. When did these Martinez links drop?
Today. One source saying there's no interest. Simon Phillips saying there is interest, and Xabi Alonso's been encouraging Chelsea to make a move. The only thing is, like, he apparently needs surgery on his finger, which might have him out for a month or 2, maybe more.
You know, I can't lie. For me, man, I'd be fine with going into the season with Sanchez. Just get me another centre back. That's what I'm.
You're on to just protect him at all costs.
Yeah. Just get me another centre back.
I can't even say you're wrong because that was my start the summer. Now they just keep trying to force Penders into this team. It's just like, okay, we'll start him. Because, like, what is him wasting a season on the bench going to do for him or for my club? Nothing.
That's the main thing, is the flip-flopping. We need to make a decision and just run with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if we're going to choose Penders... Yeah, bro. And that's the thing with goalkeepers. You need to give them that confidence. There's no point waiting for Sanchez to fail and then putting Penders in, and then Penders is going to struggle a little bit. And if we're holding Sanchez to a certain level of standards, we need to do the same with Penders. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like we need to make our decision, go for it, and stop messing around, especially with the goalkeeper position. But I'm with you, bro. Yeah. The main thing going into next season is more important than the goalkeeper at this stage is the centre-back and midfield. Whether or not Enzo Fernandez goes or stays, I still think we need another midfielder. If Enzo Fernandez goes, bring me 2.
Yeah, fully agree with that.
Yeah, same. I'm just hoping like Penders would be able to come in and like just have like either a Le Mans or like, God willing, a Checo 405 type leap. Because those are the only 2 like ideas I have of like young inexperienced goalkeepers that got thrown in the deep end and just like immediately started swimming.
Baby
I don't really
Courtois
think of anybody else. Yeah, even Courtois got built up through Atletico. I don't know what he was like in his first season over there. But I know from the last 2 seasons, he was good enough to be at Chelsea by that point.
Oh, he was, because he won the league with them.
Yeah. And even the second one, he won the cup against Real Madrid, from what I remember. But I don't really recall a lot of like other options. Like Van der Sar had years at Fulham before all of that. Yeah, you see, this is difficult. It's difficult to think of options like that in goal, but this is where we kind of put ourselves in it. Big up Superstar saying, I'm in the minority, but I hope Luco get a third club in the multi-club model so we don't keep bringing in these signings to waste that Cobham. For example, David Washington and Datro Fofana. That was the plan. We were looking into the Portuguese league for a while. My thing is, like, I don't really like want us using the Portuguese league. Or was that Daniel?
Help us. I don't know. I don't get that.
I think it's just for the case of like the whole model and just like you develop more youngsters at another club and then you can flip some more of them for profit or maybe find some more gems into the first team. It don't help you in the short term.
Have we had any gems though that's come from Strasbourg and actually banged?
No, we're still waiting on them. That's why it's long term.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
How long term is long term in football?
Because 5 years is, well, to be fair, we got Strasbourg, what, 3 years ago?
About 3?
Yeah, like Santos came in, left. Penders is only just coming in now. Barco's only just coming in now.
It definitely helps with the
now's
financials.
when you're meant to see the rewards of it, I guess.
Also Omega as well.
Yeah, but we'll yet to see what this guy's going to bring to the team
I
as
don't
well.
understand the let's get a third team to it. Like we're not even successful with our main team yet. But we want to get a third team. I don't get it. And we're making losses. It's not like we're making so much money. If we were, just stick with the model. Then you can increase the model. But it's like, if I expand and expand and expand, then should it work out? I just don't see how that makes sense. A third team for what?
Can barely control two at this point.
Yeah,
it's only like if you're thinking about the model as a whole. If you're thinking about Chelsea right now, it's completely irrelevant to it. And it's something that you probably should have done a few years back when you had already acquired Strasbourg. The Portuguese league made no sense. I think you only do the Spanish league, or I don't really see the point. Because like players don't really translate well from the German league unless you're looking further back up the pitch. And in Italy, like it's just a completely different game over there.
I'm more of a fan of the pitch we have in Brazil. The little, what's it called, cage.
Oh yeah. That's just the one so all the little Brazilian kids come out supporting Chelsea. I hear it though, man. I hear it, but it's just yeah. Daniel, what have you made of like all the stuff with like Clear Lake and like BOEHLY and everything selling their shares? What are you making of all that?
I mean, it makes sense. We just heard that they were beefing, and there was no article that said there was a resolution. So I expected this to happen at some point because they never agreed on how to run the club. And now this is Clear Lake's club. So nothing changes. I mean, what really changes? They've been controlling the club for the past 3 years anyway. I mean, they've been making decisions on what we're supposed to do and the direction the club has been going. So I don't see what changes for us either way. And now we have to pay out to BOEHLY and these guys a higher number because they want to make sure that they fit the valuation. Because if you sell 20% of the club for, it's going to be extended to, so then this is what the price of 100% of the club is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're going to...
That's more losses going into that instead, yeah.
That's more because they have to pay for that. You know what I mean? And where does that amount pan out? I don't know. I don't know how that's... I don't know what that does for us or what that doesn't do for us, where we put that, but yeah. So it looks like obviously they're going to sell to Clear Lake. I think football-wise, it does nothing for us. Better to have 100% ownership for what? What is that? I don't know. It's a consortium anyway, so it's not one person that owns the club.
Just less voices, I guess.
Yeah, that's all it is.
More shares to people already who have it, less voices.
But hold up, didn't BOEHLY just acquire the Lakers as well?
No, they're selling the Lakers.
That's Mark Walters.
Mark Walters sold his shares in the Lakers.
Yeah.
The BOEHLY still has his shares in the Lakers, but with Clear Lake, since Walters was leaving, and I think he's BOEHLY's main business partner, it just made no sense for BOEHLY to stay. It's like, you know what, y'all can have Chelsea. I'm sure he'll try to buy another football club. some point.
Yeah, probably. Like, it was BOEHLY's dream to like properly own a club. It was just the Chelsea thing came out of nowhere. In a rush, he had to get Clear Lake involved.
Yeah,
That's basically all that happened.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what really necessarily changes. I think Clear Lake has been positioning themselves as the #1 runner of the club for a while, so I think they just continue that.
Yeah, kind of the same. I didn't think it like impact anything other than just like shock value early on. And yeah, we'll see what the future holds, I guess. Big up Brendan saying we want the title race, but keep Sanchez low IQ. I understand it. We've had enough years of Sanchez. We know what he can do. We know what he can't do. He's just not really enough for us.
Hey, listen, let me just say, last season, he was one of the least of our problems. Just remember that.
I do agree with you on that as well.
That doesn't. He was still a problem. We just had a million more problems.
No, and the truth is, I'm not going to lie, I agree with that because no matter what we say or do, Sanchez will never be a title-winning goalkeeper. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's the thing we were saying was that we shouldn't be messing around with this position. So it's like, whatever you decide, just go for it. So if we're saying Sanchez is not going to win it, at least build him up to a higher level where we can actually go as far as we can this season and then think about what we're going to do next season. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is why you were saying reinforce the defense, protect him at all costs.
Protect him, improve the squad.
Yeah. If Sanchez had a better defense ahead of him, we don't concede some of the goals he conceded. Because there are many times last season Sanchez saved our asses in many games.
He did get robbed of a good few clean sheets. I will give you that.
And you know, even his red card against United, I know he could have gotten away with it and not fouled him and just let the goal in. But at the same time, like the reason why he was left so open was because of the defense.
Sure,
I agree. We still fucked up on that one.
Oh, 100%, bro. If I'm him, I'm walking out, bro. I'm going sitting next to some of the fans before I put in that challenge, bro. Forget that, but he had a decision to make.
And ultimately, that's why a lot of us would rather get him gone. Like at some point, if it's ideally this season, great. That if they're not going to do that, but at some point, that's the difference between a title-winning team and a team that doesn't win the title. Is you can't have a keeper that does that at all in your team. You know what I mean?
And I always go back to that Liverpool window, bro, where they got Alisson, Van Dijk, and they ended up winning the league, innit? That's
And you can't do a title race with Sanchez because Arsenal did one with Ramsdale. And Ramsdale ain't no elite world class keeper.
But they only won it once they got Raya. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
but you can do a title race.
We can.
They did kind of bottle it. It weren't even on the goalkeeper. It was losing Saliba. But we gotta hope like Lacroix and Colwell can be at that sort of level at the back, innit?
I still need one.
And I hope
man.
so. Like maybe with the right structure, like we were up there in all the defensive metrics with Arsenal before Maresca left.
And listen, if we replace Sanchez with Martinez, I'll be happy with that. Because I actually rate Martinez.
And I kind of think this transfer is within like what Bluco would do for an over 30. Like he's only up there for about 12 million. That's what got accepted by Juventus. He's on 150k a week. It fits the wage structure. It does seem like something that's relatively like doable for someone of his age.
Yeah.
Just whether Chelsea would pull the trigger or not.
Yeah, and on paper as well, it kind of helps with Penders as well. Like you got someone as experienced as Martinez, and he's like 33, so like you're talking maybe 2-3 years tops. And it's like, all right, Pens maybe takes #1 jersey off him, or maybe still #2, and then eventually displaces him after maybe the second year. But
we just need a definitive option this season. I don't want to go back and forth with goalkeepers. That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, and the thing is with Martinez, he's actually.
Remember a senior when he was like, "I don't have a #1 goalkeeper." You're an idiot, mate.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a keeper who can stop Pens as well.
We've been hearing that the #1 goalkeeper thing for how many years now?
That's what, Daniel.
Right? They start everybody who saw Sanchez is okay now. It's like you guys are waiting for any good form to say no, he's a good keeper now. But every manager that coached him has at some point switched him out and then said, you know what, the keepers I have are much worse. Let him start. But they're not happy with him. Nobody's happy with this guy.
No.
But somehow, we can. He's going to be our #1 keeper to start this season. So But I can't be convinced that he's a good keeper or he's good enough, and it's not going to be a problem for us, even in making top 4 or challenging for a league title. I think he is. I think he is a problem. I genuinely
No,
do.
100%, 100%.
I could be proven wrong this season if he starts, being exceptional or whatever. But once you start saying, man, if we do this, we can protect him. He's supposed to protect us. There's no way we've never challenged with a keeper that we have to hide his flaws. The worst that we've ever had, and even with him, we never even challenged, was Mendy. Where we said we have
and even Tuchel Mendy played out the back well until at least the Champions League final was gone.
So I don't know.
I get what you're saying. Like, there's very high metrics and minimal room for error when it comes to going for a title race. So the idea that Sanchez was much better last season, which he was, still might not be enough. And I get what you're saying. It just might not be enough. That's why I want something at least a little bit more proven. Emi Martinez is more proven.
And you had the
He's
higher
done
XG
more.
than Liam Delap. Negative XG.
Yeah, he was terrible. I don't. I think that's like an easy area that we can make several leaps at and make our team better. Like, there's not a lot of areas in the team where, if you replace Enzo with Wharton, some might argue it's going to be an improvement, some might argue it's not. It's neither here nor there for a lot of people. Keeper is the one area where, if you get a better keeper, we all know that's going to improve us massively. Because we know that's a big area in our back line that's like a problem. Is that keeper. And the other part is center back. And we've gotten one center back.
Even an improved Sanchez is still conceding us way too many turnovers. It's just in less dangerous areas of the pitch as opposed to the first 2 seasons. First season, he'll lose the ball on the edge of the box and you'll be bricking it. Right. Or he might let the ball go over his leg into his own net. Now it's just, all right, we're going to hoof it, but we're never going to get that first ball. It might go wide. I'm going to hoof it, so at least the problem's in the midfield.
He still puts us under a lot of pressure. What he doesn't do as much as previously is be the direct problem in terms of us conceding a big chance or conceding a goal. So he's not directly he loses it to the fucking striker, but he's still passing. If we're under pressure,
the team,
they shoot the ball or whatever, he's gonna pass it right back to them, again, and again.
And bro, one of our biggest weaknesses is on transition anyway. So that the second we lose the ball, we need to minimize that shit as well. And if he's one of the culprits
he's
for
just
that,
not making obvious errors where it's oh, that was definitely Sanchez's fault, and people are like, oh no, he's much better. No, we're hiding him from making those obvious errors, but he's not making our team better. That's the whole point. He's doing his basics. That's it. He's doing his basics to a good level. Right? He's making the saves, everything else. Every other thing that we ask for to make our team better, he's poor at.
He doesn't add anything.
Yeah, because the thing is, if he has shaky moments, he destabilizes the defense in front.
There's no point we can do that. We're under pressure. Let's trust Sanchez. He's going to pass it back to the other team. And now we're under pressure again.
David will have Enzo Fernandez playing in net before we sell him.
Big up to him, man.
Big up, David.
But yeah, it's just
big him up, man.
One of them situations.
You say Nathan?
If Sanchez has a bad game, in the defenders in front of him, he destabilizes the whole defense every time he makes a serious error that either leads to a goal or a shot on goal and whatnot. And it's just again, we're gonna keep running this for how many seasons? Obviously Penders, we saw despite his height, even Courtois had this kind of problem as well. Shots from distance, if they're well placed, they seem to get beat more times than not. Obviously Courtois is more down low shots, but again, in the beginning, but again, I'm taking that over someone who's more likely to just kick the ball straight to an opposition player or a lapse in concentration. Someone said in the chat, it's literally a lapse in concentration. You take your eye off the ball for 1 second, either when it's passed to you or someone's trying to take a shot and it goes through his arm, goes into the back of the net. We're just thinking, what the fuck are you doing? What have you learned in the 4 or 5 years you've been here? I don't know what that Ben Roberts-Smith does in terms of goalkeeper training with him, but I haven't really seen it all too lot improvement with him.
It was all fine when Maresca got him out of that header goalkeeping role, and then he left, and Rafinha came in and put him right back, and he went right back to OG Sanchez.
Bro, we need to stop this Brighton business. We actually need to just stop it, bro. The best thing, the only good thing that came out of there was Caicedo. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, and João Pedro. To be fair,
João
the Brighton business ain't been
Of
too
course,
bad.
João
To be
Pedro.
fair, it's Ben Roberts and Paul Winstanley. We don't need the backroom staff from Brighton.
And Graham Potter.
The players, I don't mind. Run through the players; they all seem to do well. Yeah, Colwell on loan from what I remember, but like it's more the backroom thing. I get the sentiment. The sentiment is bun Ben Roberts, not my actual mate. If you're watching, big up Ben. The Ben Roberts that works for Chelsea. Fuck you.
When we had Christophe Lolichon, and we brought Mendy to the club, like it wasn't like anyone was singing Mendy's praises when he joined. Most of us were like, who is this guy? Like, who is Edouard Mendy? It's like, all right, check. Sort of Vito brought him to the club. He scouted him and whatnot. And then next thing you know, this guy's playing at a world-class level, one of the best goalkeepers at that time. We won the Champions League and all that. So you can't tell me that a good goalkeeper coach can't improve a keeper who's maybe at a decent level but not world-class yet or great yet. But yeah, Ben Roberts-Smith, for some reason, he don't improve nobody that much. You know what I mean? Like maybe just a little bit, but not enough to say like, yeah, this goalkeeper now is at a level that we're comfortable with him being our starting keeper. Like,
wait, hold up. Was Mendy a January signing?
Nah. Summer.
Oh, summer. Okay.
It was just a very quick summer because of COVID, isn't it?
But then for a while it was kept as the #1. Then we brought him Mendy, right?
Nah, Lampard immediately dropped him
straight.
Yeah.
No. I think Kepa got like the odd league game or two because we drew 3-3 to Southampton, and like that he hadn't put our hand to playing like nearly every goal we conceded, and then we never saw him again.
Yeah.
Then he brought in Mendy.
Yeah, that's how I think it went.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Like, all you had to do to like get rid of Kepa was playing for a game or two. He'll kick himself out the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand the sentiment with Sanchez. Big up AG saying we'll never achieve fuck all with Sanchez as our #1. I'll take the Club World Cup and just bounce with that one. Love. Yeah, you turned up for that game. When you leave, I'll always respect you for that final. Nah, you can leave. Sorry, Doom Scroller had a comment about Sanchez at the Emirates, and I just had so many flashbacks. That brother shits himself whenever he faces Arsenal. Brother gave Gyökeres a goal at the Bridge. I just remember that as well. Ball went through his hand to Gyökeres for an open net. Man.
Now, and what gets me is him then moaning at the centre-backs, bro, getting up like it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, he's very guilty of that.
Always does that shit, bro.
Like, I think Everton, when the ball went under his legs and then he was raging at Fofana. Like, Fofana was shit that game. But you didn't help. You didn't help yourself either. You were still hoofing the ball into no man's land all the time. Big up Sean saying, I wonder when this fan base started devaluing the goalkeeper. Honestly, it's just been probably just the last couple of years, isn't it? I think we've just got ourselves bred into this situation of just like accepting Robert Sanchez. Even I found myself falling into it every time. It's like, well, he had a good like 6 months here, and then no, I want to win a league. He ain't good enough for me to win a league. It's not gonna work. But Chelsea are dead set on Mike Penders being that guy for us in the future. If you want him, play him. Just play him. I don't want to see him sitting on the bench throughout the first 3 match days. It's pointless. And big up Kenjoy saying Tebow really screwed us over. That was more us. We let him build a life over there, man.
Yep.
We let him stay there for 3 years. We kind of did that to ourselves.
Enders is in the current squad, right?
He is.
Yeah. We brought him back. He's just not played yet. So hopefully we see him get some minutes soon. If it ain't Fulham, it will be Luton. But I'd rather Jabi Alonso just shock us and just put him in for the Luton game.
Because the thing is, Xabi Alonso said he was going to have like about 5 training sessions before the Fulham game, so hopefully that's enough for Penders to get an idea of what's expected of him passing out from the back and all that. So
I feel like Jabi would have had enough time to like just research through all of these players anyway and figure out how we like them. I remember with Maresca, like he came in, he said he watched like every single game of Chelsea the season before, and then was like, "Yep, Gallagher, you're not it, you're shit. Sterling, you're shit, get out. Disasi, I don't want you here, get out." And we already had that just going into the season.
But to be fair, it's the same with Shabby as well, bro. And that's my point about the whole goalkeeper situation. Like, I'm there saying same. Like, Sanchez shouldn't be our goalkeeper, but why have you left it this late in the window to make that decision?
True.
That is my main issue with this whole thing. But someone mentioned Unai Simon. I'm not going to lie to you. That was my number one choice. But if you think you're getting a glass of tap water from Bilbao, forget about it. These men are not selling any of their
They don't
players.
leave that region.
Oh, he's still over there.
Yeah,
he's
bro.
in Bilbao. They don't leave the Basque region. No
Yeah,
chance.
and you have to give the player all of the money in cash.
Everything.
To that club.
Oh yeah, he did play 30 minutes, didn't he, Penners? My bad, people. I just got completely blanked on that. But yeah, he came off the bench last game, Sociedad. But
yeah, it
still,
was like 10, 15 minutes. You saw him catch the ball like once.
And that
but again, that's not like a full match, and it's like not having
Gallagher's shit, bro.
I mean.
And we had some
shit.
Like we had some like not solid links, but links to Diogo Costa.
Yeah, he's the one who's been linked the most that we've heard of.
We get linked to him every summer though. It's like getting to like Hope to Chelsea territory from like.
I'm pretty sure his agent is Jorge Mendes, so that would explain why. Because obviously we do a lot of business with these clients.
And this Jorge Mendes is becoming the Donald Trump of agents, bro. Every time you hear Jorge Mendes has stepped in, like what's going on?
That just looks bad.
Oh, for like the Enzo deal.
Yeah, bro.
It just looks bad for Pastore if you have to bring in a super agent like Jorge Mendes to actually close the deal to like get Enzo gone. Like Pastore can't even do that shit himself. Like you've been twerking the most and running.
It's kind of both of them though. Like Enzo's personal terms still ain't been agreed with City. You can't even get an agreement with City, let alone with us.
But that's why I want to know how much is he requesting, bro? Because if City
it's
are
gonna
not
be
paying
north
them
of
wages,
300, surely.
Then what's going on?
He's looking at what Marmoush is on and what Mark Guehi's on and thinking, yeah, I want some of that. Let me get their wages up.
Jorge Mendes is Enzo's agent. Well,
no, Javier
Pastore is.
Well, this is my point about Jorge Mendes, bro. He just steps in whenever he feels like.
He's just stepped in to help.
No, apparently he was called in to step in, actually. Apparently Blueco actually asked Jorge Mendes to step in. I wouldn't blame him because this whole deal's been dragging for so long.
525k is insane, bro. Marmoush is, you know what? As much as I like him purely because he's Egyptian, bro, what the hell is that about?
Yeah, he's looking at Foden, Marmoush, Grealish, Guehi, and thinking, I want something around this amount. Elliot Anderson, he's definitely asking for over 250k as a minimum.
Yeah,
If Elliot Anderson's getting 250.
Brother, even if he was making what Rangers was making, that's still better than that's still way better than what he's making.
But bro,
yeah, but I think like because it's City, he's trying to push for a bit more, innit?
I mean, he can, but either way, it's like because of our wage structure, like the top 10 players in City, you know, make more than damn near all our players. Probably only Reece is on the same level as them.
Bro, and this is my point. Whether you hate it or love it, that you've got to respect our wage structure thing. Because can you imagine? No, because bro,
why do y'all care so much what these players are making?
No. Because for me, bro, we'll care about it once we can't make signings, since our income is solely based at this stage on player sales. We're trying to sell hotels to ourselves. Do you know what I'm saying? And at this point, if you've got players like Pedro Neto on 300k and trying to ship him out, forget about it. Do you see what I'm saying?
You know what?
Marmoush, who's
poor in everything else. The commercial side.
But that's how it is at the club at the moment, bro. Until we get our stadium sorted, that's our source of income.
How about you fix that though? Like,
huh?
How about you fix the fact that you've not had a permanent sponsor?
Oh, bro, if it's up to me, that's one of the first things I'm fixing.
No, but your expectation is that they continue doing their poor model in terms of just player hunting instead of fixing the models that have.
Bro, Caicedo didn't even take 200.
But that's my point. That's my point. And
like, my point is, how about you fix the areas you're just saying, okay, we have to buy 1 million guys and put them under 100k to be able to sell and flip and whatever, and this has to be our model in terms of making money, and we can't make money elsewhere when it was in the contract that Roman gave them that they have to improve the stadium. They haven't touched the.
No, you're absolutely right, Daniel. You're absolutely right. But I'm saying up until then, bro, this is the best bridge we can have in between.
Bad bridge,
you know what I'm
we're
saying?
not making money like that. Not enough.
But it's the only bridge. Okay, so what's the other option of making money at this stage? If we haven't got the stadium in, there is no other way of us competing with. Huh?
We're losing out on 40 to 50 million a year on sponsors.
That's another thing. You're right. So sponsors, the stadium and all of that stuff, but the sponsors themselves, 40, 50 million, that's not going to buy you 117 million pounds Morgan Rogers. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day,
but to buy the next 100 and something million player, you're gonna have to sell Rodgers because you sell quality to buy quality. They didn't start off when they started off right with no debt and everything else. They also started off with being able to sell all those players from Cobham and everything else that they sold. That wasn't them buying those players and having to sell. So you started with zero debt, right? And then you had the ability to sell a lot of those guys. Even the mistakes they made early on, they still had the ability to make up for it. So when they got Lukaku and they got Koulibaly and all these guys, they were able to sell a lot of those guys and had a clear out. So you started with a significant positive and then wasted it. And now it's, well, we can only do this if we keep doing the same model that has gotten us to wasting it. Like that's what I don't understand. They lost.
But bro, on the books, we made a loss on these players. So Lukaku, I know so you're looking at it from, we started off at £0 basically because all the debt was cleared. But when it comes to transfers and stuff, on the books, we made a loss on majority of these players. Like Lukaku, for example, we bought him for 90 mil. Bro, how many years has it taken us to sell him? We've just been loaning his ass everywhere. My point that I'm making is I'm 100% with you. So in terms of other methods, we need to improve.
That's one player. But from that one player, did they not make about 200 million that summer from selling Cobham guys, which is pure profit?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, you made a loss on some, and Koulibaly went for damn near the same price that he was bought for. Right. We made a loss on him, but it wasn't a crazy loss. Right.
It's still a loss though.
You're acting like they can't make any loss when they're making 200 million profit.
In the way we're moving, we can't afford to make losses like that because we don't have that source of income.
Higher losses now, though. It's higher losses.
But how? If we're selling players like Enzo Fernandez, for example, for 120 million pounds, we're actually making a profit. If we're selling Cucurella for a certain amount of money now as well.
My thing is, when are they selling Enzo Fernandez for 120? And if they do, they have to.
It's going to be more than that now, bro. If City want to get him, it's going to be more than 120 M's.
But they have to replace him, right?
Yeah, but then at least when you replace him, you're replacing him for a player like, for example, Adam Morton, which is 100 million pounds. So you've got a 20 million pound sort of gap there.
That's not a real. So that's real profit. That's
not real profit, but it's still being able to compete in the market and get these players. That's my point.
It balances the books.
It balances the books. You're still able to go out there and buy these players. If we don't have a structure in place, since we don't have a stadium that can make us enough money, since we don't have competent owners to get us a proper sponsor, for me, this is at least one thing that is going well in that sense. Obviously, in the long run, you're absolutely right. Once we've got this sort of stadium, once we've got another source of income, that's when I want to see us push the structure wage slightly higher so we can keep these players long term and not have these issues like with the Enzo Fernandez situation. So I'm with you on that. But I'm saying at this stage, it's a good bridge and we have to actually, in my opinion, respect that we're able to keep players like Moises Caicedo, ask Reece James to lower his wages, for example, to stay with us. Wesley Fofana is another one that's a problem because we were talking about him the other day. If we want to sell him, there is no club coming in and getting Wesley Fofana on them wages. The big six teams are not buying him. The smaller teams in the league are not paying 200k a week. So he is staying. Do you see my point? So it's like when you want to shift these players, like an Omar Marmoush, for example, who is paying 290k a week to get him? No one.
I mean, I think you guys are okay with the money structure because maybe that makes you feel better. I guess, man. I guess. I don't know.
For now, I am. But you're absolutely spot on. In the future, I'm not.
If it makes you all feel better that maybe as a loser we're still saving money, then I hear it. To me, it's like I don't even see how we're really saving money because if you get one guy on 3 guys on 100k and one guy on 300k, you're still spending 300k.
But then what if that 300k player doesn't do well? Like Wesley Fofana, for example, we bought him in for 200k.
If you buy 2 300k players, like you was just showing the Man City lineup, right? Of all those players on
bring that back up.
Whatever it is, at least half of them are quality. If you get
I hear it,
players
but bro,
quality, this is the business. Every big club does it like
Daniel, bro. We have to understand.
Like it's some special thing, or they're smarter than the program. They're not. Even with their with their wages thing, we're still. I
To be
think
honest, a lot of the names here, I wouldn't even say are outright quality right now.
But that's my point, bro. And the thing is, Daniel,
in terms of wages, or are we less than that?
but we're not owned. We're not owned by a middle state nation. We're not owned by Roman Abramovich anymore, and that's my point. Like,
the point is that are we top 3 in wages spent or not in this league?
no, we're not.
Where are we at? 4?
4, 5.
Give me a quick sec. I can go find that too.
That's actually a good question. I want to know this.
It's United, City, Arsenal. I'm pretty sure, but then
But
Yeah, I
listen,
think
our
we're at
wage
least top
structure-
5.
Our wages
Top 5,
aren't
probably.
bad. We offer some
If
good
we're
wages.
top 5,
They're
have
not
we
bad.
finished top? Have we finished at least top 5 every year?
Hold on. That's a good
So
No, but you're right on that front. But the problem hasn't been the reason why we haven't finished top 5 every year wasn't because of our wage structure. It's because we're signing players that are not good enough or
But
don't
we
have.
still have
fifth.
top 5
We're fifth.
We still have
We're
a top 5 wage.
That's not bad.
We still have a top 5 wage structure in the league, right?
Yeah, but for me, the problem isn't because of the money we're spending. The problem is how we're spending the money. That's the issue. So when you're getting players like Danny Welbeck and Jordan Henderson, where these young talented players can actually lean on when shit hits the fan, that's when you're starting to show some sense in what you're doing. Up until this window, we haven't been doing that. We've been just signing young players and expecting them to crack on. And football don't work like that. Football needs these young players to lean on someone, learn from them, and develop. And that's the problem at this stage. Now we're sorting that out. Danny Welbeck, for example, Jordan Henderson, they're still players that fit within that wage structure. And hopefully, moving this season, we're going to start seeing an improvement in the placement of where we are in the league and whatnot.
Hold on, so like, I get the PTSD because I remember back with the Roman era where we had like Werner and stuff on 260k a week towards the back end, and it did take a while to clear out some of those players. We were lucky that Saudi bailed us out a few times too.
And Doomscroll brings up an important point as well. If we
But I
just
just think like I'm willing to break that for somebody proven. That's the only.
I don't judge it for the worst players possible. I judge everything as a whole, and as a whole. Right, even with all the money that Roman was
like
spending,
Elise saying stuff like that, I get like with this wage structure, I'm happy with it. I would have broken it for an Elise any day.
I'm saying I'm fine with Roman's wage structure because even with Roman's wage structure, right, most of the time we were top 3. Even when we stopped spending money and had the Cobham guys in there, and in the league we finished top 3. You know what I'm saying? We didn't underperform where our wages were in terms of spending on players overall. Right? If we're still top 3 over the last few years, and now we're in top 5 because we've let some of the higher wage guys go, and we're not, and we're finishing 10th and 12th. That's not okay.
No, you're right, Daniel. You're right in that sense.
And that's how you're losing money because you're not making any Champions League money. You're not making sponsorship money, right? You're not making money from getting to quarterfinals, semifinals, and FA Cups on a regular basis. Or from winning those, you're not getting any of that money. And the only model for you to get money is, let me buy as many players as possible, and hopefully I can sell some to make the money. I mean, I hear it. That's Brighton's model, but I guess like Aston Villa's doing way better than us.
No, 100%. But bro, look at them this season. We're about to see what's going to happen this season with them because, like I said, they cannot compete with that because they're not bringing in the finances. Yes, they sold Morgan Rogers for 117 million pounds. Huh?
Yeah. What's going to happen is that they're probably going to finish like 8th this year, right?
Okay, but that's my point. It's a yo-yo. It's a yo-yo situation. And yes, we've been in that yo-yo situation, but the question is the sort of wage structure the main reason, the sole reason as to why that's happening? I don't think so. I think there's so many reasons that need to be addressed. And
it's a reason why Newcastle cannot compete and keep all those players. That's a massive reason why they couldn't keep.
No, but Newcastle's a separate problem, bro, because they can't spend money regardless. They've got all the money in the world. They just can't spend it because what's it called? FFP and PSR and all that stuff. Unfortunately, the truth is it's not fair, bro. Like the truth is
it's not just about signing the players. Is when they already signed a great team. It wasn't even about like, oh, they can't sign this or do that.
And they're in the Champions League and doing well there.
Champions League, but they couldn't get over the edge in terms of the quality of guys they could sign and give wages to. And they were still spending stupid money, but the reality is that if you can't attract the best of the best, and you're gonna take losses because that's part of it. You're gonna sign some players who are quality, and you think that they're gonna be quality for you, and they end up not being quality. That's part of the game. That happens. Because that's also happening with these guys who are young and whatever. And the idea is that we can get rid of those guys as quickly as possible. And for some of them we can, and most of them we can't. We have to find other ways to move them along, but they're still on our books in terms of us paying for them this year, right?
Yeah.
At least for 2-3 years.
Big up CP. But yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Like, the model in terms of wages, you're gonna be around where you are in terms of wages that you spent. That's just the way it goes. So you're not gonna cheat the fucking system.
But bro, United, for example, are what top was it? What are they, fourth? Bro, they finished 16th or 17th last season. Tottenham is so for me. The wages is a factor. I agree with you. The wages is a factor, huh?
They were third last season.
Sorry, the season before I'm talking about, and Tottenham as well, finishing in the relegation battle as well, near relegation.
12th as well. Like we also finished 12th and 10th in those 4 years.
Yes, but they finished 17th 2 years in a row.
Exactly, bro. And the point that I'm making is the wage structure.
And the problem with Villa and Newcastle is actually because UEFA rules and Premier League rules are different. So the second you're in the Champions League, it's actually connected to the wages. The amount of profit you bring in as a club as a whole has to your wages can't over exceed a certain percentage. I think it's
just not fair, innit?
I think it's 70% of wages. That's why Newcastle. That's when we did the Amari Kellerman deal with Villa. It's because that was their first season in the Champions League with Emery.
They can't pay those wages even if they wanted to. They can't.
No, it's not paying their wages. Their wages were exceeding a certain percentage of the overall profit they brought in as a club.
What I'm saying is that whatever the reason was, they couldn't afford to keep paying those guys those wages, so they had to sell them.
Yes, exactly. So that's why we had the Kellyman deal,
which is the
wages. They were paying them a certain amount of wages, which they can't afford to, and that's our fault here with us not getting a new stadium. Because if we had more revenue, right, then we would. Because that's the whole thing about we had last season or even this season is we have so many players. The reason our wage structure is even this high is because we have 90 players. If we sold some of the deadwood, it would be even lower than this. We would be probably on par with Villa right now, to be honest. Because we have these fucking Datro Fofanas or whatever fucking else and whoever else in the world. That's we have their wages too. Even they're 40K a week or 50 or 70K, they're adding up, right?
No, you're right, but that's the model, right?
No, that is the model. But I'm saying if you're talking about, hey, we're the 5th highest and we should be top 5. Well, to be honest, if we get rid of the shitty like 500 players and actually the main squad that we have been playing the past 2 seasons, we'll be on par with Villa or Newcastle in terms of wages, overall wages. So we're kind of finishing on about where we are, which is 10th and 12th.
I think we have about 100 mil in terms of players like Datro Fofanas and those guys. I think you guys are maybe right. Maybe we'll be down to where Spurs are, or maybe where Aston Villa is. But I don't think we're having about 100 or 50 to 100 mil of wages on those kind of guys. I think that's a little bit of a overestimation of that. Maybe where Spurs is.
No, it is. Overall, yes. If you're at, okay, so every 50K is basically worth about, I think, 10 million a year. So if you have 5-6 players like that, you're over exceeding that.
50K a week?
Sorry, no, 100K a week. So 50K is about 5 mil. So about 100.
The players on 100K a week aren't.
I'm giving an example. So if you have a Datro Fofana on 40, you have 2 of those. That's almost 8 million right there in wages on 2 shitty players.
I'll say if you
Amari Kellyman's probably on 40K right now, and we haven't seen the light of day with him for the past 3 seasons since we did the swap deal.
Even if you amalgamate all those guys that you're talking about, those 8 to 10 guys that are on those kind of wages, right?
Yeah.
Those 8 to 10 guys who are on about 40K a week or something like that, let's just say 40K.
Like Makala Mudryk, we've been paying almost 100K and he hasn't played for us for 3 years.
Let's just say 40K a week. That's still only a 20 million drop. So it is around what I said. Like even if you increase that to 20 players at around, that's still a 40 million drop, right? If 20 players are on 40K, if you average it out. So it's not going to take you to Aston Villa or Newcastle or any of those guys. It's going to take you to around where Spurs is, and you become competing with Spurs and Manchester United for third and fourth, maybe, right? That's kind of where, like that, when you're around the same.
No, but you're saying third and fourth, but then we've also had shitty managers on top of that, and our player quality hasn't been the same either.
And not balanced.
So then
But
if you're saying we're on par with Spurs, Spurs are technically would be fifth, so we would be sixth, or if we're close to, so let's say we're sixth in overall spending. So that's still below Champions League, which is top 5. We would be in Europa, let's say, on average.
But
and
we're
if we have
not-
a shitty manager like a Pochettino
but
or
that's
a
the way of
Rossinier, why wouldn't we
guys
be
on the
top?
book is their way of making money, and if you take that out and you don't have that in there, you just have their first 11 and bench. That's all you have to deal with, or whatever it is. Yeah, you might be around, what Spurs is spending, or what United is spending, and what you are now, and then that's
we're below United even with the 500 players.
You'll barely be below United.
Huh?
You're barely below United.
Yes, and that's with the 900 players. United don't have the freaking
No,
low
they don't.
we have, right? So if you take out that, we're basically on par with Spurs, and so we would be what
are you saying? Are you saying we're overperforming what our wages are?
No, we're not overperforming. We're saying I'm underperforming also because we also have shitty managers. So even if let's say we're 6th position in wages, so if we're on average supposed to finish 6th because of our wage structure, that's still Europa League, by the way, not Champions League. And because we have shitty managers like a Liam Rossinier taking us halfway through the season.
But CP, it's not just like, for me, bro, that's the point I was making. Like, at the end of the day, the wage structure is one thing.
Yeah, it's
but then one of the biggest things
thing,
is the manager, like you said. It's the imbalance of the squad, just having constant young players with no experience there as well. And that's my point about the whole thing. I don't think the wage structure is an issue. In fact, I think in between this bridge of us financially being effed basically until then, where we sort out a stadium, until we sort out a front of shirt sponsor, which is another bullshit situation that we put ourselves in. We need to sort these things out. But in the meantime, the one good, decent thing we've got going for us is this little wage structure, whether it's for the good or for the bad moving forward.
That the players are bought into it.
Pardon?
More that the players are bought into it.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm not going to lie to you.
Say when João Pedro was saying that.
Yeah, but you said something as well earlier about Elise, for example. We've lost out on a player like Elise. So, of course, that's a shitty situation because we could have had Elise in our team. But on the other hand, we could have been stuck with players like Marmoush, who are 290k a week at City and won't be able to be shipped out. Like Wesley Fofana, who's on 200k a week. And if he does shit this season, who the hell are we selling him to? Do you see my point? So it's like we're in between here. And out of all the mess we've done to ourselves, I think the wage structure is the least of our worries. The bigger worries are more your front of shirt sponsors, your stadium, and getting that shit going. Do you know what I'm saying? And then we can worry about the wage structure moving forward. Because at the moment is the one thing that's going all right-ish for us. Do you know what I'm saying?
And reducing the player size.
Guys don't know count towards this.
Barca wanted him. He signed an extension.
Yeah.
My guy. JP.
Just a quick question for clarity. The guys on loan count towards this distribution, especially if the loan club is paying their wages.
No, I don't think so.
No. Well, it depends on how much they're paying the wages, right? If it's 100%, obviously not. If we're taking some,
a guy like Badiashile wouldn't count towards this, right?
Yeah.
No.
Got it. Okay. So I mean, when's the window?
Because like Garnacho's not on the current list anymore for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Then. Yeah.
I'll be real. I think the chat have had enough of this convo. Though,
I've been had enough
money.
Yeah,
bro. They're about to crash out.
Everyone just takes the financials, but like
that's the thing, right? As football fans, we never wanted to really understand this shit. Is people when they say the phrase like
so
it's not
important,
your money,
bro.
so why do you care, right? I hear that. It's not even an ignorance thing. It's just like we're football fans. We want to analyze what's on the pitch and players whether they're good or not. Like this whole financial, the fact that football's even gone this far it fucking annoys the shit out of me. Actually, I'm not the only one, but it's just like I get it. Obviously, you don't want your club being sanctioned because they did something foolish when it comes to money, but it's like surely these people are smart enough to recognize that, and if they did it, then at least be worth it and win some trophies at the end of it, sign some real top ballers as a result of it. But like when it comes to this stuff, like I'll be so real, like just pay the type of money that a top player is required to get, because at the end of the day, if you really want them that much, you pay up. Pay the money that is.
And look at Arsenal, bro. Look at Arsenal. They didn't want to pay the money for Rodgers. They thought they could get Chinicius. They're not getting him. Now at this point, who they're lucky tonsillitis is doing all right, but other than that, bro, who are they getting in the left wing position?
And it's good that you brought up Solis as well, because they went from wanting Vinicius Jr., obviously big name, everyone knows who he is, this and that, what he's done. You couldn't get him, right? So then you go and get this guy from the Belgian league who actually seems to be, like, for the most part, one game I know, but he looks like a decent player. He looks like someone who has a bit of brain, has a little bit of IQ up top.
What's
you know
his
what I mean?
wages? That's the interest.
It's like you can still always find good players from other leagues that don't run up like 80, 90, 100 plus million. Obviously, and I'm saying that in Liverpool, obviously having to deal with that when it comes to PSG and their players, but for the most part, you can still find someone thereabouts.
Bro, and
for, like,
Zolis is 90k a week, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
he's a
man,
good
he's on
player,
one.
90k a
came
week.
from
They
the
scouted
Belgian
him
league.
well,
That's what I
exactly.
mean. So, like,
90k a week, bro.
You can always find them type of players in another league that won't cost nowhere near as much if you buy directly from the Prem, or like from maybe a more established club like a Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. All them sort of teams obviously charge you a lot more. PSG, but yeah, it's just the market's crazy right now. So everyone's going to be overpaying regardless for this particular window.
That's the way. That's why we're moving the way we're moving with Enzo and
So,
with
like,
Neto.
So the main thing is you got to be. I kind of hear it. You got to be somewhat careful with the type of wages you're offering said player that you're trying to bring in for this particular window, and not just for the sake of getting the deal done, like across the line and all that. Because of course that could put you in some kind of problem with PSR, no squad cross ratio. But yeah, it's just it's frustrating.
But it's also a financial situation, bro. Like, we have to remember, we're not owned by a state like City. We're not owned by Roman Abramovich anymore. So how are we going to be able to still financially compete with these teams? You know what I'm saying? So this is one way.
Having a bloated squad, the only good thing about it is you got bare players to sell. The problem is if the players don't want to drop their wage demands because we're paying them more than the new club that they could go to would pay, then that becomes a problem because then they won't get a deal done because they're asking too much. So of course, yeah, it does kind of stifle you, but the only good thing is because we have so many players to sell, we can generate so much money by selling 4, 5, 6 players. And then you've got like at least 150 mil minimum that you've just got back. So it's good and it's also bad. Like, it's not a perfect system, but as you said, because of the stadium, right? We're kind of got to resort to doing things like this. I mean, if they just got a front shirt sponsor, that's another 40, 50 mil per year minimum.
That's another thing about what was it? The whole BOEHLY and BOEHLY stuff, because I don't think BOEHLY was doing too much in terms of getting a new stadium on track.
Yeah.
BOEHLY was the one
pushed by BOEHLY's side.
Yeah, that was BOEHLY's side. Because we got
I think BOEHLY had more of an interest in moving Chelsea, but that's impossible. That ain't happening.
But that's the thing, because we've got obviously pitch owners who obviously want the best interest of the club, to be obviously properly taken care of, and then obviously the fact that there's no real other locations to move to. Stamford Bridge is limited in terms of what you can do to it to improve the capacity. So we're in a real bad situation. We're not like Manchester United could just go and buy a new plot of land a couple of 100 meters away from Old Trafford and build like a new 100,000 seat stadium. You know what I mean?
London is a shit show, bro, when it comes to these things, because the whole underground situation and all that stuff. But the mad thing is, wasn't BOEHLY the face of this consortium as well?
In the beginning, he was.
In the beginning, bro, he was the face. He was the one doing all the talking, doing everything, and Iqbali just comes out of nowhere, bro.
You know what's funny is that they're losing more money in every way, in every other way possible, and the only retort to that is essentially, well, we can't do things the standard way because we're not making a 50 extra million from the stadium every year. I get 50 extra million from the stadium every year is very important, but so is UCL money, which is like an extra 30 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We haven't made UCL 3 out of the 4 years, so you haven't made that kind of money. You're not making that kind of money. Even in the Premier League, making top 4 is extra money, right? TV money. I'm pretty sure there's extra TV money. Right, making all these, sponsorship. Even if you get the low end of sponsorship, you get 40 million. That's 40 million that you're losing out on because you want 60 million, but no one's going to sign for you because you're not winning. So no one is going to give you 60 million, so you don't want to sign anything.
But that's where we balance it out with the incentives in it of the contract.
I'm seeing from not winning. You're losing probably 200 mil every year just from not winning because no stadium is money. No UCL, no top 4, right? And that's just, I don't know. And those are extra gains of TV money that you definitely get. So whatever their strategy is, it just doesn't look like it's working.
No,
so far, the evidence backs you, Daniel, innit? So far, the evidence does back you, bro.
Like, if they were
I find
winning
it hard to disagree.
financially and it was making sense, and it was like, well, at least they're making so much money, like United were, and they're pulling money out the club. I'd be like, you know what? At least what they're trying to do is make sense and it's working. So we're just gonna.
It's like everything they're trying is not working to what they're trying to do.
They're not making profits.
Because owning a football team inherently is not about profits. It never really was. Abramovich obviously just put his money into the club because it was a passion project. You're not meant to really pull money out.
But you know what's crazy? You can make profit though. There's ways for you to make profit, especially if you get some of these underrated signings right in like the best way possible. Like getting Palmer right was like a huge deal because one, you didn't spend 100 mil on him, and two, his wages are still below what a 100 mil player would cost for you. Right, so deals like that are like those are good deals to be able to do. I thought the Santos deal was a really good deal before they ended up selling him. But what we do is we end up paying 70 million for a guy. He's on 100K, so he's not on crazy low wages. He's on 100K, and we have 3 more guys who are on the same thing playing him in the same spot that we don't know what to do with.
But bro, I think from a business, again, this is gonna sound so boring to everyone. I do apologize, but it's I think from a business point of view, football's always run on a loss. I know, I get when you talk about profit. Profit is more so in this sort of transfer business, like sort of thing. But the main objective for owners, or the main profit, I should say, for owners, is the value of the club when they first got it, towards the end of how much they're going to sell it. And that's the thing. Naturally, when you have an asset, it just increases in value over time, regardless, unless you completely run it to the ground. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That is the main objective for these owners. But you know what? That's a boring convo. I'm not even going to get into that. So
yeah, of course. At the end of the day, as football fans, which is where it correlates, is you just got to win. If you want the value of a club to go up, you got to be winning trophies so that the next person who wants to buy it is like, I'm buying something that's winning, and then I can also win some more. Like that's essentially at the end of the day, that's how you're meant to run a football club. Like at Brighton, as Daniel was alluding to, yeah, sure.
Those calculations are mad.
They bring out Brighton will pick these gems from South America and whatnot, and then sell them on. But if you're like a person who wants to buy Brighton Football Club, all you're thinking is they've not won no trophies. They've won nothing. Like, sure, they're just generating a little bit of money here and there, but they don't win nothing. No one wants to buy that. You want to buy a team that's actually won something. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, Manchester. You want to buy clubs that win something, and the only way to do that is buy the right players, invest obviously infrastructure. Of course, you got to do that aspect side of that's not to do with the football pitch. And then just keep winning. That's all you got to do. It's not that hard, but they conflate it because they're like, I want to do it this way by buying young players because they think talent is linear and that young players at 18, 19 will become world-class in 2-3 years, which is not how football works. And then suddenly, when it's not working, it's like, oh shit, now we got to finally change the model after, 4 years of failing? So if anything, what they've paid for us, they've devalued us. They have not increased the price of Chelsea. They've devalued the price of Chelsea because they've made sure, aside from the Club World Cup winning the Club World Cup and winning the Conference League, again, where have we done domestically, which is very important? What is your club?
They said they didn't even give a shit about the Carabao Cup.
Like that, and then obviously the Champions League, which obviously the biggest trophy of all. Again, where were we? Not in the competition for 3 years running, 4 years running. Like again, so all that leads to just devalued us. So this season, this window alone, they got to correct that, right? And we've seen bits and pieces there. You paid the right wages. Even Leicester's on 150K a week, whatever. It's like he was nowhere near that in Italy, but it doesn't matter. You see what he is profile wise. You go and pay what you need, bring him to the team. And we've already seen what he looks like in the team. He looks like a good player. You know what I mean? So it's when you think about it, it's really not that hard. Just buy the right players, pay them what you need to. Regardless, if it's gonna be more than you think, just do it. You know what I mean? We're done with this bullshit of just paying your Gittins like crazy money, and a lot of us could have said that Gittins is just a gamble. There's nothing that he's shown that warrants the money we paid for him, let alone the wages he's getting, and yet they still went in and did that. So
but it all goes down to the plan and direction, bro. So Gittins, for example, is a player you get once you've got a Kfara in, for example, a player that can sit back behind him, where not a player where you've got Garnacho and both of them are exactly the same level. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And even then, if getting flops, for example, you can still ship him out, make a profit, or even at least get your money back. But this is the thing. The main issue with all of what we've been doing is that there's been no plan, no direction. It's just been sort of like doing a grandma thing where you're just keeping shit for no reason, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're just buying players, stacking them up, not knowing what to do with them. At one point, bro, so my barber trims Omari Hutchinson, innit? So he was telling me Omari was, when he was at Chelsea, bro, he was saying Omari was sat his, like, I'm not even, this came out as news anyway, so it's not something like inside story, but players were sat on the floor, bro, in the changing room. Like, what are we doing here?
There wasn't in,
there's no space for players to sit down. So what are we doing?
Ultimately, look, I blame, obviously, it is also part of the players' agents' fault as well that they end up in these predicaments because they obviously sign these type of wages on the years of the contract and then things don't work out. They're either out the team, in the bomb squad, whatever it is. And then it's like, right, you want to play football, right? You're a footballer and you're currently not playing at your current club, so leave. But then they're like, oh, but I want the same wages at my new club. It's like, no, if you honestly understand how football works, your new club's not going to pay you that because they don't think you're worth that because you weren't playing at your old club for a reason. So just lower your demands, start playing good football again at your new club if you're capable of doing that. Maybe you get a pay rise, maybe another club comes in and buys you and so forth. That's how it should be. But these agents and these players are so deluded.
Just look at
Sancho, even Enzo Fernandez, whatever, all these players, even Julian Alvarez, like these guys have dumb agents and they screw them over every single time. And they wonder why they can't get moves or they don't get much play time because, you know, like, oh, I'm fed up with this situation at this club, so I want to move. And the club's like, I'm not going to sell you. You've got 6 years left on your contract. You're stuck here. Like, you have to honor your contract. And it's like, well, whose fault's that? You should have either played better to warrant a move or, you know, maybe get a better agent who actually understands what a release clause is. And maybe you might get your move somewhere. So I'm just, it's one of those situations where you just look at some of these players and you just think, look, how hard is it to just, in training, whatever it is, just get better, play better football. And it's either you stay at your same club and have success, everyone loves you, this and that, or you get moved on. Like, cut your demands, like your wages, and just move on. Please stop dragging the shit out. You know what I mean? That's
Let's
how
keep
we
looking
get
at this and
players.
thinking about how stupid it's been that it's taken this long for us to get a frontal shirt sponsor. If we're that far behind in terms of the stadium,
it's ridiculous.
It's all self-inflicted. Yeah,
it's ridiculous, bro. It's like we're here beggars trying to wait for and trying to constantly haggle for another extra 10, 20 million. Bro, we're not even in the Champions League. Where are other nations or other countries?
1 year in the Champions League in 4 years. That's already
fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous.
If they signed a 5-year deal when they first came in for 40 million a year, it'd be over next year. Right? And they can go get whatever new deal. They've missed out.
It could have been a 4-year deal.
It could have been a 4-year deal.
And that would already be done.
Even if they want longer term, no, we want a 5-year deal. You still almost be done. Right? Or 6 year, you have
They spent the whole 4 years telling us that, like, we need patience. We need to understand this is a rebuild. But they show no patience for what they demand from the frontal shirt sponsor.
Because they're asking for like the same amount Real Madrid get paid, or up there with like Real Madrid and these teams that actually win every year.
City and United, the biggest brand in England and the most successful team in the last decade.
Don't even make sense.
I don't even get it, man. They didn't even want like 50 million because it was Tottenham. We've seen the charts for all the sponsor deals in the last 10 years. The amount they're asking for is stupid when you look at the level that of the clubs that are at there in terms of their marketability and their success.
The only somewhat good thing about it is that people like the kit without front shirt sponsor.
That is the only good thing. I'm not gonna lie. That's
That
the
is
only. The kits look clean, bro. That's the only thing.
Because if say I was 60 mil a year, they'd still be a fucking high score.
Bring back Samsung, bro.
Yeah,
Samsung would be the dream, wouldn't it?
Damn fucking
and
right.
to be fair, our kits look cold when we had Emirates as well, but obviously we can't get Emirates now. Qatar Airways would be good as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we could say we got it first, didn't it? We did it first. We had it since 2001, from what I remember.
Listen, I have no problem not, because the chat is always like, why are you guys talking about the money? We have no problem not talking about it. But you guys are going to mention it when I ask why my team isn't doing well.
Exactly.
We have to show this player and do this. Then
inextricably linked.
I really don't care to. It's just, okay, why?
And honestly, for news, we already went past everything. Let's not want to talk about Giu being 20 million.
Fuck.
We're going to end up spending we're probably going to end up spending 300 million this summer or something like that, maybe even more, right? And then
Wait, hold up.
like, why don't I have a team ready to, compete for the league? It's going to be, well, we couldn't sign this top player
Financially, exactly, Daniel.
couldn't help be. It just didn't make sense to get him for those wages, and so then we're going to go back to talking about wages anyway.
And Daniel, just to add to that as well, bro, it's just become about money, innit? So at this point, people need to get comfortable talking about the money, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
This shit has always been about money. It's a capitalist sport. You got to make money to do anything. But the question is, I'm always every summer we said we don't have money. We end up spending 270 million. We end up spending 300 million this summer. Some summers we go crazy, spend 400 million.
400.
So we're spending all this money, and when the summer ends, it's like we haven't solved any of our real problems. Oh well, because we can't really spend on this guy because the wages they don't fit our structure, and then it's like, why can't I talk about that then?
Mm-hmm.
If it ends up always being that's the reason why this summer is going to end, I would have spent 300 mil, but I couldn't get a keeper, I couldn't get another center back, and solve some of those problems. Probably, I don't know if I'm going to replace Enzo the right way, but because if you spend 300 mil, you expect that when the summer ends, your team is ready to challenge, right?
Well, to be fair, today's era.
You guys think this Enzo saga's over? Because I don't.
Nah, nowhere near over, bro.
That was a deadline for the current term, for the terms that we had for Enzo's sale at the time. Now we're just gonna ask for more money.
They went 20.
If anything, bro, it started again after that Rodri deal yesterday.
You can come in with like a 130, 135, something around there.
Lewis even mentioned it, bro. It could even be 125, but with better sort of structure to those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just get Enzo and Neto gone, or get Neto gone so we can get a backup in midfield with that money. Alex Scott, we got your money, boy. We got your money.
No, not Scott.
It's about
Wharton.
getting Bournemouth to accept it, though. I think we'd have a better chance at Wharton.
Yeah, I think Wharton is who I want.
I think we need one regardless of Enzo staying or leaving. If Enzo leaves, we need both.
Yeah. No, I'm saying if Enzo's staying, Scott makes more sense than Wharton for me.
But it should still be both for me, innit?
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been told all summer.
How much will that cost you?
It'll be about 160, 200.
Yeah, about 200.
If Enzo leaves, we'll have the money.
Both players will be 100 mil at this time in the window.
We'll have the money if Enzo leaves.
100 M's for Alex Scott and Wharton, bro. The market.
We already dropped 65 for him and got rejected. So I think we've got enough in the bank that the Enzo transfer would sort out both.
And they'll milk us, bro. And this is the problem. The longer you wait, every day that passes, that's another 5 mil. Yes, bro.
But we're doing the same to them too.
The last time I want to mention it so the chat doesn't get on. If we spend 200 mil on two players, another 100 mil on a left winger, right? Another 65 on a center back, right? And we go through the season and we don't feel like we have a team. Because even if we do that, do we feel like we have a team ready to compete for a league title?
Don't forget,
as long as Sanchez is in net.
Don't forget, we want one more centre back as well.
There's a difference between
hold up.
There's a difference between challenging and winning.
Yep.
If you give me that,
to win a league title. If you give me
win the league, the
first question you said was the first question you said was.
Well, I'm adjusting my question to be good enough to win a league title. I'm adjusting my question.
Okay, I don't think so because I don't trust Sanchez. But if he has a Mendy season, sure. But I have to see it to believe it.
But Daniel, I don't think we go in for a left winger, bro. I think our attack is sorted. I think we're
not getting any more
Rodgers is the left winger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, left 10. Yeah.
And hold up, if we were to get in both Wharton and Scott, I'm expecting a serious title charge.
Yeah,
I'm with you, bro.
So would I, to be honest. We've spent enough, and we've spent near 2 billion. If we ain't in a title challenge again, I'm looking at Blueco saying, "What are you doing?" Not Jabby as much. You've still been here for the first season. I'll criticize on a game-by-game basis, the same way I do with all managers. But
even with that, expectations still has to be on Jabby.
Yeah. Of course, game-by-game analysis, game-by-game criticism. I just don't mean I'm not directly on you. It's always going to be on Blueco first. But I'll judge based on what happens. If he's fucking arse and cheeks all game, then we're on to him.
As you should, as you said, we'll just spend $2 billion. And it's like, if you spend that much money, how can you not be competing for a league title?
100%.
Or at least demanding that. I've said I don't want a top 4 race. I'm not into a top 4 race next season. Minimum title race, or like I won't be satisfied whatever happens.
And bro,
this
that's
is
where
not the
this club
season.
should be. That's where we should expect our club to be.
And that's what
This
we
is
did
not
as
the
Chelsea
season
fans
to
every
be-
season.
To be running away from expectations. We
Especially
have
with
to
one game a week, like we've got a lot of things to expect
Right,
anyway.
it's one game a week, and let's be honest here, this is the first manager we've had in the Blue Coat era that we've all turned around and said, yes, he's not here for an opportunity. This is a manager that's come in, he could have gone to Liverpool, could have gone to any other club, chose Chelsea. We've got a manager that we can all back. We're buying players to back the manager as well, which is what we've all been screaming out for. One game a week. There is no reason for us not to be taking Arsenal to the wire next season. Do you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Apart from the PTSD over the last 4 or 5 years, that's the only thing that's holding us.
Yeah. Big up Max saying would sell both and get Wharton and Scott. That's what we've heard Chelsea's plans been. I'm just waiting for it. Waiting for like us to start moving, really. Big up Mr. Andy saying Zubi and Scott for me. We were linked with Zubamendi's been more linked with a potential departure. My thing is I just don't see Arsenal selling to us. I don't think they'd sell us Zubamendi, not unless we paid like a major fee for him. Something along the lines of like, maybe you're looking close to what Alex Scott money would be.
But that's my problem, Lewis, man. Why are we the cucks that are always selling to Arsenal and selling to City? Obviously, when there's shit players like Madueke, I'm gassed. But let's be real, Havertz, bro, for me, that is just...
Because of the money.
It is the money. It is the money, but this is the thing. Like, if Havertz was gone for 65 M's, how much is he worth now?
Do you not see like it goes the other way as well, where it's like, we never really... I know maybe this window we've changed our stance a bit, but we never really went for Premier League proven. Because going for Premier League proven is the most expensive market. But that's why we're happy to sell there. Now it's just going to be the reverse if we go for someone with, like Zubamendi, who's got multiple years left on his contract. We'll be getting the premium fee.
More or less.
But you got to think of it, it's just like they're happy to sell and make maximum profit. Yeah, big up TM as well, saying, I won't lie, I still need another top centre-back to back up our back line, as well as a centre-mid. That is what I want the most. Goalkeeper I would want as well, but not expecting it. This is completely my stance. And I think we're still looking at another centre-back. There's just still not been movement yet. But we're still tracking centre-backs, and the whole idea was that it was meant to be 2 centre-backs in. Maybe once like this Badia Shield move completes, we'll see something. Or maybe once we find a club for Tossen as well. He's got Benfica looking at him. He's got one other club. I forgot the name of it.
Marseille.
Yeah, it was Marseille. Yeah, it was. Yeah, hold that for Fana. But yeah, they want Tossen.
Yeah.
You guys think that that Al Hilal could actually give us 100 M's for Neto?
No.
They won't give us that. They'll probably give us like 70,
80,
90.
I think you could maybe get 80.
But I'll be real, if a club, it will be Al Hilal.
5, we don't get questioned. So they're coming out saying, no, we actually want 100 M. We're going to get like 75, which is more than he's worth.
I think we can get 80.
That'll be cool. I'm cool with that.
If we sell him for 100, we're under investigation.
I hear anything with a 7 or above, I'll take it.
Pretty much.
And I feel greedy even saying that.
Yeah, it's going to be like 75. They're probably going to get like 75 for him and so much for that.
You just always ask for a much higher fee and settle for something less, which would be still way more than you actually needed.
Oh, Somerville went for 75.
Bro, this is my point. This is my point.
That
if Somerville's going for 75,
we can get 80, man. 85.
Yeah,
85.
90.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have you guys in the negotiation room, huh?
And for me, bro, 90 and 100 is not a big difference. Why not just go for the 100?
No, it was 60 million.
It's 75 million euros, I think. That's
no, 60 million and about 8 million in add-ons.
Yeah.
Initial fee of 55 million, actually. Yeah.
But we're talking pounds or euros?
No. So this is pounds. What that guy in the chat was saying was euros. 75 million euros with the add-ons.
Oh, okay.
With the add-ons?
Yeah.
With add-ons, yeah.
Yeah. Big up Ziad, man. Are you getting bored of the saga too, then?
Oh, bro, all of us are, man. All of us are.
Marty said last stream, how dare we go that stream without talking about Enzo, huh?
Until it happens, bro. Until it happens, but he's going to be the topic, innit?
What can we talk
about? Get him out of here, man.
It's just City being lazy, bro. You got your Rodri money now. Can you hurry up and drop
Yes.
an
And
actual
your
bid?
Reinders money. You got your Reinders and
money as well.
Yeah, man.
Pay up, man.
And you know when you get the Saudi money, it's no installments. They just drop the bread.
In cash, bro. Cash.
Yeah, man.
Pink sheets.
They don't give a damn. So why are we waiting?
But they're trying to get BOEHLY sorted first. That's the problem. And I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, I don't give a shit about City, but we need to question what they're doing in the midfield, bro. Because Kovacic
How
in
much
the
is
sticks.
BOEHLY?
BOEHLY's 80 M's.
85,
Oh my
80
God.
mil, yeah.
They spent
They've got
something
their
like maybe
priorities all in
300, bro.
check. It should have been Enzo first.
Over 300 million spent on the midfield this summer, not even a single six.
And these men put 117 on Anderson first and like fucked up the market even for themselves.
Yep.
This market is because of City, bro. That's the truth, innit?
It's all City's fault.
City, yeah, just City. Fucked up, man. All mad. But we're probably going to wrap this stream up here anyway, because I need to step out quickly. But sub to everyone's channels. Links are down in the description below. You already know what it is. Everyone head over to catch up as well. Spam World Champions Raid. Hopefully we get an update tomorrow. An actual update. Because like today we ain't really had too much. But big up to the panel. Big up to the chat. See you lot soon. Bless up.
Big up, everyone. Up.